to the X-Rated Sports Network, where the takes get loud and the truth get exposed. Let's talk about it. X-Rated Sports Network.
If it's game time talk, we the ones who connect.
X-Rated Sports Network.
Where the hot takes live and the truth get checked. East Coast talk, West Coast swagger. Stats on the board, yeah, the debate get louder. No filter talk, yeah, we calling the play. If it's sports conversation, we leading the way. From the hardwood to the gridiron plays. Breaking every matchup, every headline debate.
X-Rated Sports Network.
Yeah, remember the name.
Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network. Remember the name. I like that. I like that a lot. What's up? The playoffs are rolling. We got 3 more games coming up tonight. We had 4 on Saturday. We had 4 on Sunday. Did you just nerd out like me and watch basketball all weekend? Probably. We're going to be breaking it all down. The great Dr. X is one of the top sports medicine radiologist in America. He's got something going on right now. He's going to join us around 3 p.m. Eastern. At that point, we'll have Andy Feinstein as well, founder of Denver Stiffs and a basketball executive. We'll dive into all of that. It is Rick Kamla. It is A.M. Pfeffer. It is Dwight Walton. Fellas, pretty good weekend of playoff ball, man. Let's go. You guys hype? You ready to have some fun?
Best time of the year, Rick. Let's go.
I mean, could Dwight be any more excited about what just transpired in the weekend? I am too, by the way.
Canada.
Okay. Oh, hold on a second. I almost want to stand up and by the way, nerded out with the rest of you, but I don't even think that's the right term. Just couch potatoed out. Just snuck away from the family, checking my phone and scores and sneaking quarters everywhere I could.
That's great, man. So we're going to save some topics for when Dr. X joins us, okay? Like specifically Orlando, Detroit, okay? And I know you guys want us to dive into that. You're going to have to wait a little bit, though. We cannot treat that topic and that debate appropriately without the great Dr. X being here. And also the CJ McCollum, McCollum-Brunson stuff. There's a couple of other stuff. I kind of handpicked some of the doc-centric segments, and I've slid them down. So, and then Brandon Armstrong is going to be joining us too later on in this episode. It is Cam, it is Dwight, it is AM. We dive in. Okay, let's go back to yesterday, and we will get to Kevin Durant in the Game 1 snafu in just a minute. But we saw 2 very impressive things yesterday. We saw Jason Tatum, making the return from the Achilles and all of this, 25, 11, and 7. Fantastic from the opening tip. First playoff game since the Achilles surgery. We have Victor Wembanyama, 35 points, broke Tim Duncan's franchise record for a playoff debut scoring mark, had 35, made 5 of 6 from 3. Didn't really have a ton of other goodies. He had a couple of blocks, 5 rebounds, kind of a weird goodie game for him, but he virtually couldn't miss. I mean, offensively, he was just an absolute juggernaut. Guys, I'll go first here. And keep it pretty short and sweet. For me, Jason Tatum was the most impressive thing I saw between him and Wemby. I'm not surprised because I've been watching a ton of Tatum and a bunch of Boston ball, but I am impressed. Wemby past Duncan, it is impressive. And by the way, I got to say this. The cutaway of the year for nationally televised NBA games, you know where I'm going with this, was Wemby making that crazy move, and they cut away to David Robinson and Tim Duncan sitting next to each other. And even Tim Duncan, who's usually got the flat face, was oohing and awing. Cutaway of the year in television. Give him an Emmy, okay? So all of that was cool. The coast-to-coast bucket against Denny and all of that. I'm more impressed by Tatum's performance because of what he went through to get here. He had great basketball minds like Dwight Walton, telling him not to play, telling him to shut it down. Okay, I'm just trolling you, Dwight. I love you, man. But obviously climbed an incredibly high mountain to not only get back from the Achilles, but as soon as he did, I'm not going to say it's unprecedented, but it's about as good and as quick and efficient an Achilles recovery as I've ever seen. I remember Cam Akers in the NFL came back after 5 months from an Achilles tear. That blew my mind. But he wasn't quite the same guy as before. But it still was impressive that he came back. Probably pushed it a little bit too early. That's the way of the NFL. I'm more impressed because of what Tatum, he's giving me Durant vibes right now. When Durant came back from his Achilles tear, you couldn't tell that anything happened to him. Just picked up where he left off. And I know Tatum's shot was wonky at first and all that, but his movements look good. He didn't look like he was favoring anything. His body and his like muscle tone and all of that looks the exact same. I really haven't noticed a difference, okay? Klay Thompson, unfortunately, I can't sing the same song in that regard. So hopefully we're able to talk about Halliburton and Damian Lillard the same way we're talking about Jason Tatum. But Dwight Walton, you next, man. More impressed of what you saw yesterday between Wemby and Tatum.
You know, you said you were trolling me, Cam, but I want to sit here again and thank you for that. But I want to sit here again and apologize to Jason Tatum on what I've been saying for the entire season. I was just going based on how I know players recover from Achilles tears, and I'm on record as saying, outside of a spinal injury, an Achilles tear is the most debilitating injury an athlete, especially at the pro level, can sustain. And I was of the mindset that, you know what, man, I understand that you're pumping out all these videos of you playing one-on-one, dunking the basketball. Then you graduated to 3-on-3, still dunking the basketball, playing one-on-one full court with physicality, then graduating to the G League, and ultimately getting to the NBA. I thought it was nice to see. I thought it was a nice recovery. But in my mind, just sit this one out. The Celtics aren't going to win it this year. Just go into next season. This was supposed to be a bridge year. You got rid of Al Horford, Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis. That was the plan. Bridge year. Of course, Jaylen Brown embraces the opportunity of being the man on the Celtics. Supplants himself into the MVP conversation. Not one of the 3 finalists, but was definitely in the conversation. And then, miraculously, Jason Tatum, you came back. The Celtics organization did it the right way. I didn't agree with it, but if you were going to do it the way they did it, you brought him back 6 weeks before the playoffs to where he can, quote unquote, ramp up, get his legs underneath him, get his wind a lot better, get his body used to the wear and tear, the roughhousing, all of that the NBA entails. And now he's hit the playoffs running. He was the best story this weekend. No question about it. I understand that Wembanyama had the best game in Spurs history, but we're going to be talking about Wembanyama, God willing, no injuries for the next 10 to 15 years. Jason Tatum, outside of Cam Akers and Adrian Peterson coming back after 7 months with that knee injury, this is the most miraculous recovery to come back to all-star form. If he played the entire season, he'd be in the MVP conversation. That's how great this recovery is. If you didn't know Jason Tatum was injured, you wouldn't know Jason Tatum was injured. That's how great he is playing. And now the Celtic fan base have a legitimate reason to think that they have a legitimate shot at winning the championship. Outside of the Spurs and the Thunder, the Celtics look unbeatable. Yes, they're going up against a Sixers team that is not fully healthy, but I don't think it would have mattered. That's how great the Celtics are. Jason Tatum was the ultimate free agent pickup after the trade deadline. The Celtics are now in prime position. Jason Tatum's legs are rested. He's just now getting into full swing. If this Jason Tatum stays the way he is, the Celtics not only have a chance to get out of the East, they have a chance to give the Thunder or the Spurs in an NBA final a run for their money. This could be the story of Jason Tatum's career. Jason Tatum, Cam, he was by far the story of the first weekend of the playoffs.
That's a great opening segment right there. I just want to say this. I have never, ever, 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 ever cheered for the Celtics in my entire life. It's just a thing. Like, I grew up a Laker fan, right? And so you grew up to hate McHale and Bird and Ainge and Parrish and DJ and all these guys. Not like hate, but you get the point. Like, wanted to beat them and all that kind of stuff. So that kind of was just ingrained in me. And, you know, they have so many likable players. I love Derek White. You guys know, like, Jaylen Brown, like that's the homie right there. I'm a big Jason Tatum fan. I was rebel against this bullcrap, corny narrative, which is so stupid. Like, you know what's like, there are two guys. Jason Tatum is virtually flawless. Like, what is there to criticize or rip about this guy? LeBron James, kind of the same way, right? Yet people like manufacture ways to go in on these guys. And it's just so stupid to me. Just LeBron James is virtually flawless. Like, has he ever been in trouble? No. Has he ever, I mean, it's just this little nitpicky stuff. Anyway, AM Pfeffer, man, hit me. More impressive, Wemby or Tatum to you?
Well, let's look at it this way. Dwight just apologized to Jason Tatum. I think Jason Tatum might have to make an apology to Tyrese Halliburton because he is just making him look bad from a distance when you compare one guy and his trajectory to the other. Like, getting back to Wembanyama for a second, he would have had to put up 60, 20, 20, and 10 to be more impressive than what Jason Tatum did this past weekend. It is, dare I use the word because you've heard me use it multiple times before, but I have to say it is absurd again. It is really absurd to think Tatum's out there. When Tatum came back when he did during the regular season, you know, some ups and downs, mostly ups. Let's just call it like it is. I'm not trying to put a knock on him because, like you said, Rick, he's pretty flawless. But you wondered when playoff time came around, is he going to be able to turn on the Jets? Is he going to be the Jason Tatum involved? Yeah, all-star Jason Tatum, MVP level Jason Tatum, absolutely a force to be reckoned with. Put the Sixers 6 feet under in about 1 minute with Tatum on the floor. It was over before it even started, right? You wondered if the Spurs were going to hold on. There was a time in that game, get to halftime, I think they were up by 1 is what they went in at halftime. But, I mean, obviously, Wembanyama, impressive, exciting, amazing, love him. Glad that he ended the day. It was a great way for the NBA to wrap up their Sunday. But Jason Tatum, so far and away, the story of the weekend. He was not only as impressive as Dwight mentioned for the weekend, he was as impressive as anybody's seen in the last 20 years in the NBA. That's how good what he did was this weekend.
You know what, Cam? If I can come in here, it's unbelievable. I can't believe this is how I know Tatum is back. He's playing in traffic. He's rebounding in traffic. He's getting over screens in traffic. He's putting the ball on the deck, getting to the basket in traffic. He's not just settling for threes. You know what? In a roundabout way, I think he's made his game more efficient because he's aware of the injury. This is going to end up being a blessing in disguise. He's going to be an even better basketball player now than he's had been in his career. And again, this is my opinion. A couple of years ago, with all due respect to Jaylen Brown, maybe you can give Jaylen Brown the Eastern Conference most valuable player when they got to the finals. But for my money, Jason Tatum was the MVP of the NBA Finals. That's a whole other discussion. It's how I look at it. I'm sure I'll get blowback on it. But that being said, that's how important Jason Tatum is to this franchise. Jaylen Brown, you've had a terrific season, an MVP type of season, a breakout season. I'm sure you believe in your head, not only are you the best player in the Celtics, you think you're the best basketball player in the world. And that's how you're supposed to think. But the reality is, without Jason Tatum, you're not winning an NBA championship. You should take Jason Tatum out for dinner for the rest of your career, rest of your life, because Jason Tatum is going to make your life that much easier. I can't apologize enough. I was wrong. Welcome back, Jason Tatum. Welcome back, Boston Celtics. Welcome back to not a shot, but a legitimate shot at winning the NBA championship this season. That includes the Thunder and the Spurs. The Celtics are that good.
I think I'm over it. I think I'm ready to buy the black Jaylen Brown. I am. I think, and wear Boston on my chest. I'm still deliberating because I may have to trade in my Ant-Man jersey. And you're like, what? It's a teaser for later on in the show. What was it? Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, when one of them said, "You're going the wrong way." Remember that? That's it. Like, for me, that's Ant-Man right now. You're going the wrong way. All right, I appreciate the old school chuckle right there. Yes, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, young fellas and young ladies. John Candy, Steve Martin. It is a timeless comedy. Not every comedy from back in the day is timeless and still good. That one is. Okay. All right. Guys, I got quite a bit of setup here. And then I gotta go. Okay. This has been an issue for me all weekend. All right. Kevin Durant.
We know.
From the group chat, Kevin Durant missing game 1. All right. Here's the reporting on it. Kevin Durant was reportedly very frustrated after missing game 1 with this knee injury, according to Sam Amick. According to several people who watched his routine pregame, his frustration with the brutally timed situation was impossible to miss. KD missed 4 games all year, suffered an injury in practice, went knee to knee, like last Wednesday or whatever it was, or Thursday. Ime Udoka said, "It's soreness. It's very tender. It's tough to bend in certain ways. Not a lot of swelling. He hit it in a very awkward spot more than anything. It could have been a regular bump knee, and he would have played through that, but it was right above the knee, the patella tendon area." Okay, game 2 is Tuesday night in LA. KD will have like 5 or 6 days off before and if he plays that game. The question that we have for us and for you to kind of chew on out there, our great audience, should Kevin Durant have played? My answer is yes. He looked good in warmups. And here's the deal. You can't play the long game in the playoffs. You have to go for it today, right now. Full throttle on the boat with no governor, okay? Otherwise, the basketball gods send lightning bolts down on you like they did to Houston on Saturday night. Do not tempt the basketball gods. Going back to Phil Jackson, he always used to talk about this, and it's real. You think it's metaphysical and it's not real. I believe it's real. Many within the game believe it's real, okay? And there is only one true God. He is my God, okay? So I just want to say that. But there's a little wing over here of the basketball gods, okay? And the Rockets tempted them, and they got a lightning bolt thrown down on them. They played the long game here, guys. They thought, and this is a theory by me, okay? But this is a theory carved and chiseled over decades of covering the NBA and being a historian. They thought they had enough to beat the -2 Lakers, you know who two I'm talking about, without Kevin Durant. Oh, man, we can beat, they don't have Luka or Reaves. They just got Bron. Yeah, we can beat them without Durant. Wrong, okay? Durant could have played in game 1. He might have been 75%. Movements might have been limited a little bit, might have been a little bit sore, but he could have played, okay? And from the Sam Amick report, sounds like he kind of wanted to play and the team held him out. Again, we don't know all the details on that. That's my theory based on the tea leaves here. And they probably would have won the game had he played, okay? Whole game, it was 8-10, 9, 8-10. If you got Durant, you probably get over that hump, okay? His absence threw the whole team off as well. I think they were a little spooked, okay? Like, damn, he was warming up, looked kind of good, and they're ruling him out. It throws the team off, bro. He looked pissed off on the bench, okay? He left the bench early for the locker room before the game was over, okay? That's a bleep you to the team right there, and not his teammates, by the way. This was a major blunder by the Rockets, okay? I'm going to go back and bring up some history for you guys. Do you remember when the Heat beat the Bucks in the first round in 2023, the 1v8, when Jimmy Butler was, "This is my mother out," and all that kind of stuff, okay? Like the height of Jimmy Butler, man. Like you could not be a Jimmy Butler fan at that point. and then he tricked off 2 regular seasons and he lost me, okay? But at that time, I was all in, baby. The Bucks were the number 1 seed. The Heat were the 8th seed. Guess who won? The Heat. Guess why? Because the Bucks tempted the basketball gods. They took them lightly. They played the long game with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Coach Bud ended up getting fired over this, okay? Giannis injured his back in game 1. Fell hard, landed, oh, my back. I don't want to hear it. Play. Get a shot. Take a bunch of painkillers. I don't want to hear it, okay? And he didn't return. Tests were negative, okay, because I did the research today on all this. Tests were negative. And he missed games 2 and 3. And Miami went on to win the series. They went all the way to the NBA Finals. Okay, that's when they lost to Denver. And so Giannis should have played all 3 of those games. Played 11 minutes in game 1, didn't play game 1 or game 2. But the Bucks tempted the basketball gods, and they threw lightning bolts down on them, and you were a 1 seed and you lost to an 8 seed, okay? And by the way, LeBron James has never lost a first-round series when he wins game 1. So now Houston's in that trap, okay? And Luka's going to come back soon here. So to me, the Lakers have already won this series. I'm saying, like, to me, the Rockets have completely blown this series with the game 1. And I know we got a long way to go here, but I don't like where this trajectory is headed for Houston. So yes, I think Kevin Durant should have played in game 1. I am anticipating a different answer from my great friend Dwight Walton, but let's see here. Do you believe Kevin Durant should have played game 1?
Listen, we've had this discussion on many occasions. Yourself, my cousin, the great Dr. X, Phil McDonald, not so much AM, not so much Gary, not so much Jason, not so much Kai, not so much Brandon, not so much Dennis Scott. However, do I think Kevin Durant should have played? Based on what I saw in the pregame warm-up, sure, I can say that. But what I will say, I totally agree with your theory. I think they've bought in to the fact for what everybody said going into the series. LeBron, as great as he is 41 years old. We have zero respect for Marcus Smart, Rui Hachimura, Luke Kennard, DeAndre Ayton. Our Rockets team is still better than your Lakers team, even with the great, albeit 41-year-old LeBron James. They definitely tempted fate, Cam. I agree. Not 100%, 1,000%. They thought they were going to win on Saturday night, game 1. And if you look at the statistics, they outshot the Lakers 93-66. They had 23 offensive rebounds. They went to the free throw line just as many times as the Lakers. So the Laker haters out there can't say that the referees or the officials favored the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers turned the ball over just about 20 times. The surprising factor is DeAndre Ayton outplayed Alperen Sengun, had a very good game. They held the Rockets to 38% shooting. Luke Kennard played great, career game, 27 points. Let's talk about that Luke Kennard for Gabe Vincent trade. How lopsided was that one? Luke Kennard scored 27 points in that one game. Gabe Vincent scored a grand total of 21 for the 3 years he played for the LA Lakers. Of course, injuries play a part in that, but I digress. However, all of this stuff added up. Yes, the Lakers shot 61% from the field, close to 50% from 3. Will the Lakers do that? And they held the Rockets under 100 points. Will those 3 things happen again in game 2? That remains to be seen. However, the Rockets, Kevin Durant specifically, can erase all of this by playing in game 2, winning the rest of the series, and we won't even be thinking about this discussion that we're having right now. However, if Durant plays and the Lakers still win on Tuesday night, now we're having a different discussion. So I'm not going to go out here and say Durant should have played, but what I will agree to is that the Rockets thought they were still going to beat the supposed less than talented LA Lakers with an aging LeBron James. They knocked at God's faith, the basketball gods, and they lost. They were denied entry. Let's see how the series plays out going forward. I'm not going to sit here and say the Rockets aren't going to win this series, but they tempted fate on Saturday night. Let's see how the rest of the series plays itself out.
A.M. Pfeffer, I beg your pardon as we bring in Brandon Armstrong. And B-Dot, I want to get you rolling on this one right here, man. I want to bring you, I want to bring you in and get you rolling on this. So my theory was just that Houston thought they could beat LA without Luka and Reaves minus Durant. They played the long game. They got cute. And they tempted the basketball gods through a lightning bolt. Dwight is agreeing with that. Dwight's not agreeing with me saying that Kevin Durant should have played in this game. So what says you, my friend?
I already know that was gonna be your take, Rick. KD should have played. I mean, it's tough, man. He went out there in warm-ups, pregame, and he's a jump shooter, and he tried to bend that knee, and he felt some pain and felt like he wasn't 100%. And I honestly think also that the Rockets thought they could just steal one from the Lakers, without them having Luka and the Reaves. They're like, okay, we're good. All we got to worry about is Bron. But hey, man, one thing I got to say about that Lakers organization, since Jerry West, man, they know how to come up with some great Caucasian play. All right, that boy Luke Kennard, because
Facts.
that's the thing. That's what they like to say. Rashard McCann said it the other day. Oh, they got these white boys can't guard. They gonna get their butt whooped. Man, come on, Luke Kennard, 27 of them things. You feel me? Like, stop playing. These guys are professional basketball players, no matter what their skin complexion is, dog. And Luke Kennard showed it. He was sitting on the bench with the Atlanta Hawks. They were not using him correctly or not using him at all. And you see how he came in and stole that game. And that's the one thing about the playoffs, okay? It is about your role players. That makes and breaks you. Every team has your one or two superstars, but it comes down to your role players coming through and performing. And Luke Kennard did that. DeAndre Ayton did that. Rui Hachimura did that. LeBron did what he needed to do. LeBron was chilling all year. He was like, all right, watch this. I got something for y'all. Playoff come, and now he's activated. So honestly, KD's going to have to play game 2, but that's only if he feels up to it, because, he still has, 3-4 more years, I feel, in the tank, and he doesn't want to jeopardize that. And I don't think Ime Udoka's coaching. Never mind. We're not talking about it now. My bad. I seen it at the bottom. But yeah, if KD tells him to play game 2, then he needs to, because the Lakers have all the momentum. They felt like they can come in and steal one, and they did it. And now their backs against the wall.
B-Dot, great job right there, pumping the brakes, because that's the next topic. Is Ime Udoka catching for
I got happy. I got excited.
Well,
it's the floral print. It's the floral print. It got me hyped.
You're looking good, bro. Just drop it one more button down for the ladies, man. One more button down.
No.
I'd have had my chain. Yeah. I ain't gonna do it, Dwight. I'm not.
Don't do that.
Family friendly. We gonna get too X-rated.
That's too much for TV, isn't it, Dwight?
You can never get too X-rated on this network.
I love it. You guys are the best. All right, AM, should Kevin Durant have played, man?
Nope. Good decision not to play him. It's totally fine. Guys, 5-game series, absolutely not. He had to have been out there. 7-game series, it's all good. It is plenty of time. Rick, I hear what you're saying, but I don't exactly hear what you're saying in terms of Milwaukee Heat. Totally different series. When you're the 1 seed, as Milwaukee was, in the expectation for them to have walked through the Eastern Conference Finals, or Eastern Conference, and gotten themselves back to the Eastern Conference Finals, or potentially the Finals, very different. But they tempted playing against playoff Jimmy, and that is the one guy they never should have tempted. Ime had to see what Houston had without Durant. I actually like the call. I think it was the right call to see what his team was made of without Durant. And you know what? They're made of nothing. Plastic. Where the hell was Şengün? What was Amen Thompson doing out there as one of the best defenders in the league and couldn't shut down Kennard to half the points that he had? The Rockets look soft. They're also a team who I think they understand are not going to make it too far when you've got to go through Denver, Oklahoma City, San Antonio. let's just remember that they are not the 1 seed. They're not the 2 seed. They're not the 3 seed. All right? It is what it is. It's okay that Durant didn't play this game. It really is. Ultimately, if it was game 4, game 5, if you're playing, it's tied at 2, whatever it may be, yeah, we're having a different conversation. It's the first game of the first round of the playoffs. Pump those brakes. All good. I'm fine with Durant now.
I sort of agree with AM Cam. I do. It's one game, and we'll see what happens on Tuesday night, man. Even if Durant doesn't play, you don't think the Rockets were embarrassed? These are professional athletes, man. So we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, if Kevin Durant doesn't play game 2, I'm going to lose my mind. And I believe that Kevin Durant will lose his mind as well. All right, Dot. You wanted to dive in. You go first. Is Ime Udoka coaching for his job right now?
Not at all, man. He went into the season with a certain roster.
To me.
Fred VanVleet got injured, so he's without his starting point guard. He had to throw Amen Thompson up there to experiment with this point guard role going on. Reed Shepherd was coming along, so not at all. Now, not at all. Now, is his heart in jeopardy? Hearing the Nia Long news that we talked about last week on her liking younger guys after the whole debacle, then yes, that may be the only thing that may be, at risk is his heart. But in terms of his job, Ime is perfectly fine. He's done a great job with this team that he's had to construct and figure everything out with. So no, his job he's perfectly fine. He's one of the best coaches in the league, and he's shown that.
AM Pfeffer, you go next, man. Is Ime coaching for his job right now?
Let me ask you this, guys. Who's going to replace him if you get rid of Ime Udoka? Mike
you.
Malone?
Sing it.
No.
Sing it.
Right?
No. Mike Budenholzer?
Steve Kerr? Mike Budenholzer? Jamal Mosley? Is that a better upgrade or Mike Brown if he bows out of the playoffs too early? What are we talking about
Taylor
here,
Jenkins?
Stop. Just stop. Ime Udoka has gone down there and in 3 years turned the entire culture, the organization, the team around. They're a 50-plus win team. What are we even? This is the coldest hot take there is. Dwight, I'm throwing his money. Take the water is coming at you through the screen. I don't even want to hear it. You better get your chance here and tell me that Ime Udoka is fine. I don't care all the text shades that is Ime Udoka is coaching for his job. He did a very good job this year. With the differentiation of the plus minus. I'm talking about the points per game versus what they did defensively. He did just fine of a job. He lost Fred VanVleet right before the season started, and admirably navigated them to the playoffs. Not the play-in, not out of the playoffs into the lottery, into the playoffs, 50-plus wins. Stop. Ime Udoka is not going anywhere, and no one out there is better than him to even replace him. Even if you told me Greg Popovich was coming back and replacing Ime Udoka, Houston's not moving off of him. Knock it off.
All right, Dwight. AM sets you up, man. Is Ime Udoka coaching for his job, Big Dwight?
Well, for the viewing audience out there, the reason why this question has been posed is because prior to the playoffs and prior to the Lakers not having Luka Doncic nor Austin Reaves, I said 3 coaches are definitely on the hot seat going into these playoffs. I didn't say they were coaching for their jobs. They're on the hot seat. There is a difference, okay?
Yes,
they're on
there
the
is.
hot seat. Mike Brown of the Knicks, for obvious reasons. Jamal Mosley, although his Magic team has magically turned it around, he's on the hot seat. And because of the aforementioned reasons with the Lakers roster and the lack of respect for DeAndre Ayton, Luke Kennard, Marcus Smart, Jackson Hayes, who else? Bronny James, Jared Vanderbilt, Jake LaRavia. Okay, so because of that, I did pose an issue. I said, I think Ime Udoka, if he doesn't win this first round series against the Lakers, he'll be on the hot seat. I don't think he's coaching for his job. What AM said is absolutely correct. He has turned his program around. He has credibility. He has a history. If not for the stuff that happened in Boston, I still think he'd be the Celtics head coach right now.
sure.
So his credibility is there. He's a terrific head coach. I'm just talking about the narrative coming in to this Lakers series. The Rockets cannot lose this first round series if Luka Doncic nor Austin Reaves play. They have to play. The Rockets have to win this series. Even if Kevin Durant doesn't play, I still think they have a better team. They're more athletic. They're supposed to be better defensively. Yes, they may be choppy offensively with the loss of Fred VanVleet back in September. And if Durant doesn't play, I get all of that. But the Rockets are favored to win this series. They should. That's why I included Ime Udoka to the hot seats that Mike Brown and Jamal Mosley are definitely on right now. I'm not saying he's coaching for his job. I just think he's under pressure and on the hot seat to win. They need to win this first round series.
Dwight, I'm buying what you're selling. I like how you presented that. So if they lose in the first round to LA going into next year, there's going to be added pressure on Ime Udoka. I can completely work with that. That's all logical and it makes sense. Like and so I'm gonna go into my thing. The whole thought that if Houston loses this series to LA and Ime Udoka gets fired, I think is insane. I think it's a media creation. We're not hearing this from Tillman Fertitta. We're not hearing this from Raphael Stone, okay? And I've got a separate rant at the end of this. I need to bludgeon one of these asshat hacks that call themselves insiders. But first, like I said, this is a media creation. This isn't coming from the team. Ime Udoka is not a good coach. He's not a quality coach. He's a great coach. Okay?
Agreed.
He's a great coach. Is he a championship coach? Nope, not yet. Give it some time, okay? Look, to me, everybody in Houston gets a pass this season because of the VanVleet injury. It took all of the air out of the room. Anything they did or was going to do is gravy, okay? You're missing your starting point guard. How are you going to fire your head coach when you're without your starting point guard? Duh. It doesn't make sense, okay? Tillman Fertitta gave Ime Udoka a big-time extension after last season. Tillman's not going to fire him now, you idiots. Give me a break. This season, Udoka led the Rockets to a 52-30 record. That's impressive to me. 5th in the West, 2 games out of 3rd place. If he gets fired, he'll have another job in 3, 2, 1, okay? The Rockets are not firing Ime Udoka. I like what Dwight said. Now, here's the separate rant. A very prominent, once network level, and he's not network level anymore because he's an asshat hack, and people figured that out, all right? I don't like saying his name to give him publicity. I call him Ill Bimmons. Work it out in your own brain. I think you know who I'm talking about. He talks like this. He talks like this. I can't believe this is happening right now. He talks like that. And I won't do that because it's annoying and disrespectful. Although I'm kind of okay with that last part. But anyway, Ill Bimmons is a big Boston guy, right? Big Boston guy. Claims to have ties with the organization, right? Okay. So he came out with a whole anti-Ime Udoka thing. He's coaching for his job. He's going to get fired if they lose this series. Okay. This is a biased take. That's why I call him an asshat hack. This is not an objective analyzing basketball take. Okay. It may be code for something else. Haha. Okay. But my point is he knows people within the organization. All right. There are probably some people within the organization that don't like Ime Udoka. And I'm talking about the Boston Celtics organization, right? The trouble that he got into. And so we still don't know all the details of that. But there's probably some people in the organization, like the players all love Ime Udoka, right? But maybe some of the executives still aren't really feeling Ime. And so Simmons talks with these guys. I'm just saying, I don't know where this comes from. Maybe he's just an idiot. And this is just a horrible take. But I know that he's a huge Boston guy, big Red Sox guy, big Patriots guy, big Celtics guy, bleeds, New England and all that kind of stuff. And so that's where this is coming from. Like, oh, he did this to my team, so I'm going to go out here and slander Ime Udoka and start banging the drum to get him fired. That's what this reeks of to me. And obviously that completely sucks. It belies sports journalism. It goes into not just fanboy, but hater fanboy, okay? And I would tell him to do better than that, but he won't. So we move on, okay? Let's talk about this. LeBron James. LeBron James was awesome in game one, okay? He got the whole party started with all the dimes. He had 8 dimes in the first 9 minutes. The team shot an insane percentage, okay? But he got the whole thing rolling, right? That's not the really cool part. The cool part is being on the floor with his son in a playoff game, okay? And so he said, I was on the floor with my son in a playoff game. That's probably the craziest thing that's ever happened to me in my career. Quite a statement. He said, my mom got to watch her son and her grandson during the playoffs. That's crazy. Dave McMenamin also picked up a quote where he said, it's above everything that I've accomplished. Okay, so these are like huge statements from LeBron James. And he had 19, 8, and 13 in game one. So the question here, and Dwight Walton, you go first here. These are his words that we're using in sort of spinning. He said, craziest thing that's ever happened to me. So Dwight Walton, what in your opinion is the craziest thing ever to happen in LeBron James' career?
I haven't had the fortune of being a parent. I have been a father figure, but I don't have children of my own. Being a parent is the best job that a person can do in their lives. To give birth to a child, to see a child be nurtured on a daily basis, to be raised in your best domain, the best thing you can do. And this, to me, is by far the craziest thing that has happened in LeBron's career. He has won most valuable players. He has been to multiple All-Star games. He has won championships. He has been Finals MVP. He is the all-time leading scorer in the NBA. The late, great Oscar Schmidt is the all-time leading scorer, but LeBron is the NBA's all-time leading scorer. He has accolades on top of accolades. But I completely agree with LeBron James in this regard. He got to play in a playoff game with his son. This was not the preseason. This was not a regular season game on a Tuesday night in February. This was high-stakes basketball, albeit game one of the first round series. It doesn't matter. Coach J.J. Redick is not throwing Bronny James out there just to throw LeBron and the Lakers a bone. He understands the urgency of the moment. They have to. People were saying the Lakers need to steal game one at home. That's how important this game was. And LeBron got to be out there with his son Bronny. Whether we like the circumstances or not, imagine being a father. You're at the pinnacle of your sport, and your son is on the court with you in a playoff game. Imagine that. Yes, you delegate your son or your daughter to run your company when you retire or when you pass away. Of course, that happens in all walks of life. But in the National Basketball Association, the best league in the world, he had the opportunity to be on the court with his son. Will it happen again in these playoffs? Only time will tell. But just imagine the feeling of pride. Are you kidding me? LeBron is trying to add to his legacy. Think about that. He's trying to defy the odds. He's trying to stave off Father Time. As a 41-year-old, they have home court, but they're the underdog in this series. To play alongside your son in a playoff game for a few possessions, trust me, that will be embedded in LeBron's mind for the rest of his life. Yes, he's a great athlete, probably the most popular athlete that we have in the world today. But to play alongside your son, that is absolutely the craziest moment in LeBron James's career.
All right, let's go to Proud Papa A.M. Pfeffer. Was that the craziest thing to ever happen in LeBron James' career?
Well, prior to that particular game, to me, the craziest thing in his career was for an entire week when he was on the Heat in 2013 was over 60% field goal percentage for like that stretch of games, like over 9 days. That was unbelievable. But yeah, it's incomparable to what he just went through. Crazy. He's right. That is just crazy. It's not a small amount in the history of any league where a father plays with his son in a game, let alone a playoff game. It is infinitesimally small. What's even crazier was he was the better player than LeBron, right? Like there might be something in some alternate universe where like the son in his 20s is on the court and he's amazing, and then the father comes in for like 3 minutes as he's creaking around the court and like they get to play in the play. But like LeBron was unreal in the game yesterday. It's a crazy on like every level. Anything else in LeBron's career, his storied career, his incredible career, his let's talk around the campfire for 6 hours before we fall asleep until dawn career. This was the craziest. Proud Papa A.M. Pfeffer. I'll never experience it. I'll never come close to experiencing it. Most people won't. It's an infinitesimally small percentage of people who can come close to what LeBron experienced yesterday. Crazy in the best possible way. One of the best sports stories of the last century. Mark it.
You could have a Glock to my temple, and I would not be able to spell that word you just said. D-Dot, what is the craziest thing that's ever happened in LeBron's career? He said that it was playing with his son in a playoff game on Saturday.
Nah, man. I mean, that's different. 20 plus years of dominance, 8 straight finals in the East, 3 championships with 3 different teams. Being the face of the NBA for as long as he is, replace Michael Jordan in Space Jam, like what, he's done it all. His legacy is crazy. And then just to be cemented to be playing ball on the court in a high stakes playoff game with your son and you're dominating. Like me just coaching my son, my 5-year-old son, that's winning a little championship. That was the top of my life right there. Like seeing him out there hooping and him loving the game. And now LeBron gets to play it at the highest level. Like, before this, the craziest thing ever happened in LeBron's career was probably the Delonte West and his mama situation. So if we go crazy, that's probably the craziest thing, you know. But the negative side, but look at this guy, Doc. Look at Doc.
Oh my goodness!
Doc popped in like he about to freestyle. He got the coordinated pillows, the orange. Look, the ring light is perfectly over his head. Look like a halo.
Yep.
Man, you're looking good, Doc. I can't even flex, but you look good. But overall, yes, this is probably the most craziest thing ever. We forgot coming back from 3-1 against one of the greatest teams of all times. And yeah, this definitely tops it. As a father, as an athlete, as a player, as a human being, you would love to be on the court to share that moment with your son. So by far, yes, this is the craziest thing ever.
Yo, Dot, that wasn't no father-son basketball camp. That was game 1 of the NBA playoffs.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on, man.
Man, it's not blowout time, not blowout time in actual prime time. Like that is, yeah. And like you said, JJ isn't just throwing him in to fill LeBron's head up. Like, no. JJ is like, okay, Bronny's a quality player. He's getting rotational minutes, which goes back to our time where we had all the girls on set, all the ladies on set, and they asked about Bronny and are we tired of the Bronny talk? Like, no, because it's relevant and he's actually producing. So this is never going to happen ever in life. We're never going to see this ever, unless we're never going to see this.
Let's bring in Dr. X, man, looking smooth in New York City, baby, wearing the shades indoors. And I love it, man. He's got the cool to pull that off, no question about it. Dr. X, I got a Nick topic coming up for you in just a second, but I want to bring you in on what we're talking about right now. LeBron and Bronny played in a playoff game. LeBron said after the game, it's the craziest thing that's ever happened in his career. You agree with that? Or would you say something else was the craziest thing to happen in his career?
Miss me with all that.
Oh my God!
No, honestly, no. It was great. I was happy for them. I always smile. I like every post I see that keeps us up to date to all the stats, like how much time has passed, like Gloria holding Bronny as a kid, watching his dad play. All that stuff is great. But even him playing and having a actual role on the team is great too. I would say to answer the question, what's the craziest thing in LeBron's career? I would say Draymond Green getting ejected and being suspended and allowing them to have that 3-1 comeback. That was the craziest and probably cemented him in the GOAT conversation. If he doesn't get that win, they get gentlemen swept. In that finals, that kind of changes the whole narrative because that was the KD less Warriors, and maybe KD never goes there. But I mean, just to give him his respect and proper due, I would say the craziest thing is that 3-1 comeback. It took a lot to do that. Those are like 240-point back-to-back games. I know Kyrie hit the buzzer beater, but he put them there to even make that possible. So that to me is finals. Yeah, that every time I think of LeBron's legacy, that's what comes to mind.
We just lost Doc, but I can tell you right now.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here. That yawn.
I can tell you right now.
In the beginning.
I can hear you.
The basketball gods.
I can hear you.
I know.
Hey, give me a second. I'm gonna put it on what's it called? Airplane mode and go on what's it called? Yeah. We're back.
Like how Reggie
right.
Theus was.
Right.
So guys, I agree with Doc. I think the craziest thing to happen in LeBron James' career was the 3-1 comeback against the 73-win Warriors. 73 wins. They were going to be the greatest team in the NBA in NBA history until they lost. It's the first and only 3-1 comeback in the NBA Finals in like 80 years of NBA Finals. I still can't believe LeBron pulled that off. Doc said it best. LeBron is not right there with Jordan and Kareem without pulling off that miraculous comeback. He's not. He would have 3, which would put him beneath Steph. LeBron would not be on my Mount Rushmore with 3 rings, okay? Because Kobe has 5, Duncan has 5. I mean, Shaq has 4, okay? LeBron getting that ring, it's the craziest thing to ever happen in his career and the biggest and most important thing to ever happen in his career, in my opinion. And this is very debatable.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take you back to Game 5. Game 5, LeBron goes, and listen to the total stat line. This doesn't make sense. 41, 16, 7, 3 blocks, 3 steals. What? Okay, Game 6, 41, 8, 11, 3 blocks, 4 steals. What? Game 7, meat grinder, right? 93-89, every point precious. 27, 11, 11, 3 blocks, 2 steals. Dude, that might be the best 3-game stretch by any player in the history of the NBA. All right? So to me, that's the craziest thing to ever happen to LeBron James. Go ahead, Dwight.
Yet it was Kyrie Irving that saved his legacy. Give me a break with that nonsense. Jeez,
Oh!
I hate that.
Because Kyrie made the shot. Oh, Kyrie saved his legacy. Ray Allen saved his legacy. Give me a break. I
see what you're saying. I agree with you.
Draymond's antics saved his legacy. Yes, all that. But everybody has something. It's not saying that he did so by himself. Like everybody has some. I mean, Kerr hitting that 3. Who knows? They would have lost.
Kevin Durant saved Steph Curry legacy if that's the case.
Yeah, of course, 100%.
That is the case.
That is the case. That is the case. That's Finals MVP. It was like who? You're in the passenger seat now, buddy. Yeah.
Dexter says LeBron overrated. Dexter, you're our boy. Thanks for listening out there and watching, man. He says LeBron overrated. Wow.
Dexter, block. Go ahead and block him. Block him.
Okay.
He's only overrated when they talk about he's better than Jordan. And I think it's really the fans. I got respect for LeBron. It's really the fans that make it like insufferable sometimes.
Insufferable?
Yes.
Oh,
And Rick, just to let you know, this is my playoff alter ego is the insufferable Dr. X. Okay, just so y'all know. So as long as the Knicks keep on winning, just know that. And as
Guys,
long as Detroit
Doc, what would
keeps
you
on
have come
losing,
out with?
it's a wrap.
Doc, what would you have come out with? What would you be rocking today if Detroit had won and the Knicks had lost? I'm just curious because it is what you
I would
your
still be
vibe right now.
I'm going to the Knicks game
Coming
tonight.
through the screen.
I appreciate it.
We know that.
I'm going.
Are you
I'm going to
wearing
the game.
that tonight, cuz?
Yes, I got black leather pants too. I'm chilling, yo.
Let's
I got the
go.
wide leg joint.
Man, he's
Trying to be
so
young
good.
like the
Man.
Young Bucks. I got the wide.
Good.
Let's
That's
go.
that's that first day of
Got
school
the-
fit. He wearing it
Yeah,
all.
I got the Louis glasses.
in it.
Light
Let's
Come
go.
on, man.
You
I
got
love
Louis
it.
For another
Vuitton
4
glasses
hours.
on too, man.
Hey, Doc, are you wearing the shades indoors at MSG tonight? Please say yes.
Yes. A
Yes,
little bit.
I love it.
Part of time.
Let's
Throwing up
go,
X
baby.
flag.
Let's go, baby.
If
Oh,
I
yeah,
if
give
I
it a
if
throw.
I talk to somebody of note, out of respect, I'll remove them and then I'll talk to them.
And then put them back on.
Yes.
Doc, you the man. You the
Love
man.
it, man.
Flex on these sons of guns, man. All right, Doc, listen to me. We're gonna bring on Andy. We're gonna bring on Andy Feinstein right now. We saved 3 super spicy topics for you for your arrival. Okay, the Orlando Detroit thing, the Brunson McCollum thing, and we have another part-time killer Ant-Man debate question that is going to completely piss off B-Dot, and it's going to get us going. So after we bring on Andy and we have a great time with him, we're going to have a great time with some of these killer debates. So everybody stay right where you are. Let's now bring on Andy Feinstein, founder of Denver Stiffs. Andy, welcome to Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network. He's a sports executive. He's involved with Giants of Africa, and he's now a part of our family over here and a good friend of AM Pfeffer. Andy, nice to meet you, man. Welcome to the show.
Hey, great to be here and great to be with you guys. I really appreciate you having me on.
Thank you.
AM, go ahead.
Andy, this is amazing. I'm gonna kick it off here. Rick usually does, but first of all, I want everyone to know this is a friendship that goes back over 30 years. And I'll bring you back even 26 years ago. This coming August, the year 2000, when I moved to Los Angeles, I was sleeping on Andy Feinstein's floor before even finding housing out here. That's how great, that's how important Andy Feinstein is in my life. And to set this up, he's in London right now. He is a titan of the Denver, Colorado community, and we're going to talk all about that. But, you know, when I was out here, you were running a comic strip called Girls in Sports and trying to get that off the ground before you ever got it syndicated nationally, got it on Fox Sports, got it on ESPN. You've done so many incredible things in your life. But one of the bigger things, I think in 2009, you had launched Denver Stiffs, which is still the most widely read Denver Nuggets blog there is today. And before we get all there, I'm going to throw this back to Rick because I can't do justice what he does when he introduces everybody on the panel. So, Rick, please introduce everybody over to Andy.
So, yeah, Andy, lower left, it is Dwight Walton, Canadian basketball legend, played in the Olympics in 1988, played overseas for many years. Below you, the patriarch, the creator of our show, Dr. X, Dr. Phil McDonald, one of the top sports medicine radiologists in the country. He's an entrepreneur. He's a philanthropist. He's a huge Knicks fan. He's going to the game tonight. Bottom right-hand corner here, it is the great Brandon Armstrong, a.k.a. B-Dot, NBA impersonator. He's a rapper. He's a comedian. He's a DJ. I got to play with you sometime, Dot. I got to bring the drums. I got to syncopate. I got to do the patterns with you, bring the dance floor to life. We got to get that popping down in Phoenix, my brother. So, Andy, this is the crew, man. Welcome.
Well, this is awesome. And Rick, I should have started by saying it's great to be in a room with you. And I hate to age you, but
Thank you.
you were a formative part of my sports upbringing. I watched you religiously on NBA TV for many, many years and had the privilege of shaking your hand many years ago at Las Vegas Summer League. And anyway, just an honor to be in a room with you and these other fine gentlemen, including my old school BFF, Aaron Pfeffer.
That's awesome. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate that.
Knew me as Aaron before I even became AM.
So guys, listen,
Andy, I'll go.
Go for it, Rick. Go for it.
Go. So I was just going to ask you, man. Game one, pretty chalky here. When we're through, we're going to have an Anthony Edwards discussion here. But were you expecting more from Minnesota in game one as obviously a big Denver Nuggets fan and, the Denver Stiffs? Were you expecting more from Minnesota in that game? Was that easier than you thought it was going to be?
It was definitely easier than I thought it was going to be. I was all Nuggets fans, not that it's up to the fans, right? But the Nuggets were faced with a Faustian bargain to end the season. Do you tank against the Spurs and get yourself into the 4 seed, knowing that you're going to play Houston in the first round, and then you deal with Oklahoma City in round 2? Or do you beat the Spurs and you go to this 3-6 matchup and you're playing against your nemesis, Minnesota, that frankly, they scare us, right? And I was pleasantly surprised. What else can I say? I am a big fan. I am in the UK right now, but I'll be back for some games, but I stayed up late to watch it. And look, I was pleasantly surprised that they came away relatively unscathed. But, if the Nuggets are going to go all the way, which I believe they can, you're talking about Minnesota, San Antonio, OKC, and whoever the East puts up. I don't know. I know you're a big fan of history, Rick, and we should talk about this. I was thinking, what team has gone through a gauntlet like that? I mean, maybe like 95 Rockets, having to go through like the Utah Jazz and the Suns, the Spurs. But it's going to be really tough.
That. I'll look it up while the guys are talking and stuff. I was just going to say that 95 Rocket team, because they were like the 5th seed or the 6th seed, an absolute gauntlet of badass teams, including Orlando in the finals. Like, they were spectacular that year. That's the only run that comes to mind that would be more challenging than that. Dr. X, come on in here. You got a question for Andy Feinstein?
Andy, a pleasure to meet you, man. I have a quick question. Seeing that you've known A.M. Pfeffer for so long, what's A.M. Pfeffer's favorite basketball team?
Well, I should know the answer to that. I mean, when we inherited Aaron in Denver, where I met him as a young man, he came in as a Knicks fan. I don't think we successfully converted him to a Nuggets fan. But crazy enough, I think he's been in LA more than he's been anywhere else. But I don't think he's a Lakers fan. I hope not. Interesting. I just hope not. But look, let's talk some hoops history here. I think, as a Nuggets fan, it's surreal, to have a run like this. The reason our blog was called Denver Stiffs was an homage to Doug Moe. May he rest in peace. He just passed a few weeks ago. And actually, if you look at the court in Denver, they have the name Moe on the court. Doug Moe really represented it, for guys my age, the formative years of Nuggets fandom. The Nuggets were always a team of stiffs. Something always cursed us, on the way to some sort of a run. It's like the late 70s, they were awesome, but David Thompson was too busy partying at Studio 54 and tore up his knee. In the 1980s, we gave the Lakers a hell of a fight in the conference finals, but then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar breaks Alex English's thumb. You get into the 90s, that everyone remembers the Mutombo team holding the ball, upsetting Seattle, the first team ever to be an 8 seed, to beat a 1 seed. And then LaFonso Ellis blows out his knee the next summer. And that would-be dynasty was over in a year, And then, of course, you've got the Carmelo era with George Karl and those guys. You ran into Kobe Bryant. So it's just, it's surreal to be in an era where the Nuggets have been contenders this long. I just hope that Nikola Jokic doesn't walk away from what could have been a 3 or 4 championship career with only one.
I agree. The reason why I asked that question was I called AM a part-time Knick fan. I just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure that he came in at least as a Knick fan. So it's all right. It's great.
Yeah, he came in as a Knicks
You,
fan. Is he a Knicks fan this season? Is he claiming the Mike Brown Knicks?
nah, he is. He's a Knick fan and a Chicago Bulls advocate.
Oh
Yes.
God.
Yes. Yes. He's going to get Giannis to Chicago at all costs. And it's a nice little tug of war here because Doc wants to get Giannis to New York at all costs. And I'm telling both of them, Giannis is past his prime. You don't want him right now. So we're talking about all this stuff here, man. Dwight Walton, come on in here with a question for Andy.
Andy, thank you very much for gracing us with your presence on our show today. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
No worries. You don't need to be so kind, but thank you for the kind words.
Listen,
He's Canadian.
The
He's Canadian. Sorry.
Oh, stop. Okay, yes. I am.
Canadians are exceptionally polite. They are.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The MVP finalists came out yesterday, and it's the right
Yeah.
three. We're talking about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Canadian, Victor Wembanyama, and your favorite, Nikola Jokic. Listen,
Yeah.
Jokic is putting up numbers this season that are historic, arguably the best season of his career. So make your case for Jokic being this season's most valuable player, to where the overwhelming favorite seems to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'll be forthright with you. My favorite is Victor Wembanyama, but I'm already on record saying that Nikola Jokic is the most skilled center to ever play basketball. So make your case for Jokic being the MVP this season.
Well, I think with Wembanyama, just to start, for starters, he didn't play enough minutes. He just doesn't play enough minutes. So I think he's phenomenal. He merits MVP consideration, but to me, he doesn't play enough minutes. So I would take him out. As far as Shai versus Jokic goes, I can give you the quick Shai argument. First of all, the regular season wins, and they didn't have Jalen Williams for a lot of the season. The clutch play is amazing. And, I can't, as a Nuggets fan, I wasn't that fussed last year when Shai won it. And I don't think I'll be that fussed this year if he wins it again. The year I was really fussed was when Joel Embiid won it over Jokic. I thought that was like when Carmelo bested Michael Jordan for the MVP one year. Just because the voters have fatigue doesn't mean Nikola Jokic isn't the MVP. And I will tell you, and Rick will tell you, you talk to anybody in the NBA, and you say, I can have one guy. Anyone in the front office will tell you Jokic is the guy I want. And there's no hesitation. No one's saying I want Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. My only argument for Jokic, other than the numbers, one more in the Shai category. Unfortunately, when Jokic did miss a lot of games. I mean, he missed 17 games. And when he came back, they actually lost a lot of close games. So that's why this will probably tip towards Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. However, I think the Nuggets, without Jokic, are a lottery team. They're literally a lottery team. Maybe a bottom 10, even though Jamal Murray's had a fellow Canadian has had a phenomenal season. So that's the best I can do is say they'd be a lottery team without him. But again, I can't get that fussed. I mean, Shai's a champion. They had the best record by far. I think they won 8-10 more games than the Nuggets won. Those things matter. It is a regular season award.
I love it. Great answer, man.
Yeah,
B-Dot,
but
you got a question?
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I'm not
Andy.
happy about it. No, I'm not happy about it. What can you do?
What do you? Okay, Andy. Let me just follow here real quick before I bring in B-Dot. Do you think Jokic is going to win the voting? Right? You gave us the case for Jokic. Do you actually think he's going to win the award, or do you think the voting will not go his way?
I think Shai's going to be a back-to-back. I do. I think he's back-to-back. That's just my gut feel. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Understood. And there's
That's
a big swell for
Rick,
Wemby
who's
too.
your pick, Rick? Who's your pick?
Wemby's my pick.
Okay, Wemby's your pick.
Andy, I'll say this. We got to go back to like 1962, I believe it was, when Wilt had that year and Russell had that year and Baylor and Oscar, and it was like the greatest MVP race ever. You look at the guys that didn't win MVP that year, you're like, how? And I think Wilt might have averaged like 50 points that year and he didn't win MVP. I got to go back and look at it, but this is like the best MVP race I have seen in a long time. Because you can make a really good case for Cade. You can make a really good case for Jaylen Brown. I know Laker fans are screaming that Luka's getting dissed here. Wemby, SGA, and Jokic, if any three of them won, I would have zero problem with it. They're all incredibly worthy. So with that said, let's go to B-Dot. B-Dot, ask Andy Feinstein a question, please.
Oh man, how you doing, Andy? Thanks for being here, man. It's an
All good,
honor.
man. Thanks, man.
We know that you've partnered with Musaya Jiri on building sports infrastructures in Africa, but I really want to understand the real goal behind that. Is this about building a business or building something that outlives you? And when it's all said and done, what do you want the people in Africa to say that this project did for them?
Well, it's a great question. One of the advantages of starting a Nuggets blog is you get to know the people that run the Nuggets. And so I had the honor of meeting Masai Ujiri when he got the job in Denver in 2010. When he got the job, he was the first African person in the history of the world to run a Western sports franchise in any league. And that includes football, as we call it over here in the UK, and any sport in America. Masai is the real deal. He has an organization called Giants of Africa. They build basketball courts. They do basketball clinics for boys and girls all across the continent. I think their programs and their court builds have been in something like 25 to 30 of the countries in Africa, of the 54 countries. And so I've had a real honor and a privilege to be first a friend to Masai and an advisor to Giants of Africa. And I've been to 18 countries on the continent with him to open up these camps and these clinics for youth. We've been doing this for 17 years now, if you can believe that. And some of the kids from our camps, like Precious Achua, are now NBA players. Also on this journey, I got to attend some NBA Basketball Without Borders camps, which Rick would know really well. And that's where Joel Embiid came from. That's where Pascal Siakam came from. And today, in the NBA today, 10% of all players have an African parent. And you can connect that directly to the work that Masai has done in the NBA, because I really think he's been like, the door opener for this movement of these phenomenal African players. When the Raptors won the championship in 2019, which Dwight knows really well, there were 4 African players on that team, including Anunoby and Pascal Siakam. So really, it's just been an honor to be on this journey. And then, on the private side, we have activated some sports infrastructure on the continent. We want to do more. It will outlive us all. It's a long-term play. But Africa is the largest growing consumer class on the entire planet. There is a dearth of infrastructure on the continent, although it is growing. The NBA has made sizable investments into Africa with the Basketball Africa League. In fact, one of the reasons I'm in London is I'm on my way to Kigali in a few weeks for the Africa Basketball League Championships. Anyway, it's a big opportunity. It's exciting, but really it's a gateway for youth to grow their talent and have bigger and better opportunities than they've ever had before.
Andy,
I appreciate that, man. Because I was just in Africa a month ago. My bad. Yeah, do your thing, right?
No. Go ahead, B-Dog. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying about the growing Africa in the basketball league out there. I was out there a month ago. We got to play against Tashim Tabit's team out in Zanzibar, Tanzania.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's the president of the basketball organization over there. And like you said, it's growing so much. And he even said it firsthand. He was like, Dot, it's just going to get bigger and bigger. We have youth leagues, things that we didn't have 5 years ago. So I appreciate you both you guys for what are you doing for that country and their growth. And I know you guys have like more and more coming along, and I just want to give you your flowers, man.
Thanks, B-Dot. I appreciate that very much.
No problem.
Yeah, and I wanted to expound on the NBA African League. I watch the games on NBA TV on the weekend, and I'm impressed with the talent. Can you speak more to that league and the importance of the league in that country? And is it a legitimate feeder system for the NBA?
Yeah, so Africa's had professional basketball for decades, which I think people don't realize. There has been for a long time. What's changed now is the NBA has really formalized it, and they've basically been doing for those who are soccer fans, they've been doing kind of a Champions League style where they're taking the best teams from their respective regions and they're competing in a roadshow tournament. And they've been doing it that way for the last few years. What they're going to pivot to over the next few years is a home and away model. So you're going to start seeing like dedicated teams that are part of this league in a home and away model. As far as whether or not it's a feeder for the NBA, the NBA, I guess the short answer is yes. No different than they think NBA Europe could be a feeder for the NBA. But the NBA does look at these as like adjunct or adjacent leagues, not necessarily feeder leagues. I mean, these are grown men playing on these teams. They're not, these aren't 22-year-old G League players. These are grown men who play professionally all over the world. So I think the NBA does look at it as an adjunct league, but it's really going to be an accelerant to grow the game of basketball on the continent. More and more youth will come from the continent. And I think, again, 10% of all NBA players today are of African origin. What's it going to be like in 10 years or 20 years, And you just look, the last few MVPs, we were just talking about Shea and Jokic, but, Embiid won an MVP and Giannis won 2 MVPs. So, and Hakeem Olajuwon won an MVP 30 years ago, just to show my age. So, there's a lot of talent out there, but they don't have access to infrastructure to the level that they should. And once that infrastructure is delivered, which is something that Masai has been working on for decades, we could see more and more Joel Embiid's, Pascal Siakam's, Precious Achiuwa's. They're coming. I'm just telling you guys, they're coming.
I love it. AM, go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, Andy, you and I unfortunately don't get a chance to speak nearly enough, especially because you're across the pond these days. So I'm curious. I want to hear what's in store for you. What do the next couple of years look like for you?
For me, oh gosh.
Yeah,
well, that's a big question. Look, I'm still working with Masai on some stuff on the continent of Africa. I'm still trying to keep tabs on my business in America, in Denver. I'm not sure what the next chapter looks like for me. I appreciate the loaded question. Maybe I'll be on your show. Maybe I'll be with you guys if Rick will have me. I can join you guys every week.
Let me double it up then. What does the future hold for Denver Stiffs? I mean, where do you want to see that?
Well, so Denver Stiffs, Denver Stiffs. I was very proud of Denver Stiffs. We grew it from nothing to 20,000 regular readers in just a couple of years. The Nuggets were a very uncovered team in Denver, despite the fact that the Nuggets had a huge fan base in Denver. You guys will appreciate this. Denver Stiffs got really popular when Allen Iverson was on the team because he had such a global following that his fans came to our site and many of them stayed on. I must confess, I have not been a regular contributor to Denver Stiffs for many years. I handed it off to my successor, who handed it off to his successor, and it's now part of the Mile High Sports Network in Denver, which is one of the prominent media brands in the market, and it's run by some guys that are diehards. I now have wife, kids, businesses. It's hard to write a sports blog when you've got a wife, kid, and businesses. But Denver Stiffs is still there. It still has a huge following. It's got a very vibrant audience, and it's doing its thing. They've got podcasts, they've got video content. You guys know better than me how the sports media landscape has evolved, and Denver Stiffs has evolved with it. But yeah, crazy to think in next season. In 27, 28, it'll be 20 years. Crazy.
Amazing. All right, predict for us how far the Nuggets go. What round are we in?
Well, I'm going back to the 95 Rockets. I think there's a lot of similarities. I know they're not a 6 seed, but there's a lot of similarities. To quote Rudy Tomjanovich, never underestimate the heart of a champion. I think the Nuggets could go all the way this year. I know everyone says the East is back. The East is not back. I think whoever wins from the West is winning the finals. And I think that if the Nuggets can get through the Spurs and the Thunder, they're winning the whole thing. So I'm a homer, but I got to predict the Nuggets are going to win the whole thing. I got to do it.
But Andy, won't
Yes.
the Nuggets be too tired, too beat up to go through the Spurs and the Thunder to get to the final?
I'm very concerned about this. Last year I was living in Denver and I went to all those Clippers games and I went to all those Thunder games in the second round. It was brutal, man. It was brutal, to go through 2 7-game series. But here's the difference between this year and last year. Tim Hardaway Jr., Bruce Brown is back. Valanciunas is on the team. I like what Cam Johnson's doing. Even Strother can give you a few good minutes off the bench, and then Peyton Watson when he comes back, they have some depth finally. So look, we're all fans, guys. We got to be optimists. If you don't believe your team can do it, what's the point of being a fan? But I am worried, Dwight. I'm worried, and Jokic himself said this after that incredible game against the Spurs a few weeks ago. This window is closing, guys. This window is closing. The Victor Wembanyama era is fast coming. And he hasn't, Jokic and the Nuggets have an opportunity to shut that door this year. I don't know if they're shutting that door next year.
Agreed.
Yeah, right now, Denver's a tough matchup for San Antonio. You guys have had your way with them. OKC's kind of had their way with you guys this year, at least in the regular season, for what it's worth. Now, in terms of, we keep bringing up the 95 Rockets. To me, this is the most gauntlet run ever. First round, they had to play a 50-win Utah team. They won in 5 games, 3-2. Second round, they beat that Phoenix team in 7 games, so 4-3. And then Western Conference Finals, they beat the Spurs in 6 games. And then in the finals, crazy, they beat the Magic. They swept them and that kind of thing. Nick Anderson with the free throws and all that kind of stuff. The Rockets are the lowest seeded team to ever win the NBA title, 6th seed. And they were the first team to beat 4 50-win opponents in a single playoff run. So that's all badass stuff right there. Andy, my last question, I want to tap into your executive brain, but also you're a hoop head. Okay, so you're like the best of both worlds here. I don't know if you heard me talking on NBA radio on Sirius XM about the 65-game rule with Antonio Daniels like 3 years ago. Because I was tired of picking Jimmy Butler, who played 59 games, and LeBron James playing 61 games and putting him on my all-NBA team, right? I said, something's got to be done about this. And I set the number. I go, AD, the number's 65. And boom, like a year or two later, Adam ratifies this. And I'm like, bro, that was literally my rule. And so now it's very controversial. A lot of people like it. A lot of people hate it. Where are you at with the 65-game rule?
Rick, I do remember listening to you on this. I literally remember this. And, I always listen to you on NBA radio in the car on Sirius XM. And, the intentionality behind it is right. It's right. I mean, when we grew up, Alex English played every game. Every game. Yes. Unless he had like a real injury. Magic Johnson.
Andy, so did Fat Lever.
Yeah. Magic Johnson played every game. Michael Jordan at 41 years old on the Wizards played every game. Okay. And they knew that those fans are the reason they get to make the livelihood that they make. Okay. And so I think the intentionality behind the 65 is absolutely right. However, I'm going to say a however. Could there not be a minutes component to this, though? I mean, I just think it's a shame that Doncic, who came up like a game short, or Cade Cunningham, who came up a couple games short, or Anthony Edwards, who came up a couple games short because of legitimate injuries. And I don't know how you decipher between legitimate injuries and load. What's it called? I was going to say load shedding, Aaron. I was thinking of
load management
blackouts in California. Load management. That's what happens when you let communists run a state. I was thinking like wow. These guys were so close. And what a shame that they're not all NBA players. So Rick, I'm with you on the intentionality of it. 65, when it came out, I said, this feels right. This is right. But I'm actually okay with the Luka exception and the Cade exception this year because it'd be a real shame. It would be a real shame.
So the cool thing is, so Cade with the long, and like there were a couple of games where he didn't quite meet that minutes. You got to play 20 minutes. And so I'm totally cool with, and I told the guys, like, I'm okay with the league. I don't know what the right terminology is here, but like saying yes, making them eligible, right? But so the NBA is not just all soft. They said no to Anthony Edwards. And Anthony Edwards' appeal to me was laughable. He played 60 games. He wasn't even close, right? And he probably did it as some kind of goofy joke, which is really, it seems, his whole theme anyway, and we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, like when you're one game away and it's in the NBA. Yeah. And by the way, those, and you probably know this, those were the first 2 exceptions that were granted by the NBA. So you've got to be like literally right there within a hair of 65 games, which at that point, I think then common sense comes in and you're like, yeah,
Well,
let the guy be eligible. You know what I'm saying? But I still am relatively hard-lined about this. I do believe in 65. Go ahead, Dwight.
So this is what I wanted to say to both you and Andy and the panel. You said it yourself, Rick. You've been using your common sense before this 65 game threshold. So for me, why don't you just get the 65 games was put out there, yes, by you, but it was primarily for the fans because their favorite players weren't playing in all of the games. But you guys were using your common sense before the 65 game threshold. So why don't you just get rid of it and go back to the common sense? That's how you guys voted in the first place.
Because
you're missing.
But there's not then the impetus. Pardon me, Doc, just super quick. Like SGA and Wemby and Jokic would have played far fewer games down the stretch to qualify for the 65 in the MVP. Doc, I'm sorry. Did I steal your thunder? Is that what you were going to say?
No. I was going to say that exactly. Yeah, if you don't have the impetus to actually want to play, then you won't play. So it's you got to have both.
Hey, by the way, in the Jokic category, if he's healthy, he plays every game. He plays every game.
Right.
He doesn't take
Exactly.
He doesn't take nights off. And look,
think about how many people said, "Oh, he's gonna miss. He's gonna miss." When he was out for that month, I was like, "He's coming back and he's not gonna miss one more game, and he's absolutely gonna be eligible." Right? Yeah. Everybody was talking that before he came back, no way he was gonna hit the eligibility because he only had one game to go. And I'm like, not Jokic. He plays every game. To your point, Andy.
Yeah, but it's hey, look, Rick. I think again the intentionality behind it is right, and 65 feels right. You know, it feels like the right number. Like you should play, and I don't know what that percentage is, Rick, but what is that? 80% of your games or something? Like you should play. 8 out of 10 games to be eligible for an end of season award. But I'm okay with these exceptions for Luka and for Cade.
Right.
They had season defining performances, and it would just be a damn shame not to be rewarded for that.
Don't forget Booker. He should get an exception too. Booker deserves it too.
Booker might be 3rd team All NBA, so him not being eligible is a bit of a buzzkill. But Andy, I put it in these terms, right? The NBA regular season is 6 months long. Okay, so the NBA is giving every single player 17 games off. 17 games off is like 5 weeks. Okay, so you're literally like 1/6 plus a little bit more. You get paid all the money. You don't have to do a damn thing. Okay. To me, like normal people get 2 weeks off of PTO for a whole calendar year. Okay. So yeah, these NBA guys in a 6-month regular season, you get a month. You basically get 5 weeks to play with, dude. That's enough. You don't need any more to play with. But Andy, we really appreciate your time, man. You're absolutely awesome. We wish you nothing but success. Would love to have you back on the show. And we will, if the Nuggets keep progressing and keep winning, we'll have you back and we'll reignite this conversation, man. We appreciate you, Andy.
Guys, this has been so much fun. I would love to come back if y'all have me. It's so great to see all of you. This is awesome. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Andy.
Thanks, Andy. Great to
appreciate
see you,
it, man. God bless.
Good to see you, bud.
God bless, guys. Take care.
All right, Andy Feinstein, that was badass. AM Pfeffer, thank you for booking that. He was super cool. All right, Dr. X, we are going to rev you up right now. All right, without further ado, the question is, there is no setup to this at all, okay? All I'm doing is winding up the little crank in Dr. X's back. That's all I'm doing here. The question is, are you ready to, and Doc, this question's more for the panel than you, because we already know you predicted Orlando to win this series. But for all of us, are you ready to say Orlando will pull off the 1-8 upset over the Detroit Pistons? But Dr. X, you go first. And if you want to just gloat, you can go ahead and gloat, my friend.
I'm not really a gloater. like that. It feels nasty to me to gloat. But
Oh my
I'll just say
God.
this. I was just speaking what I saw. I didn't know which team it was that they're going to run into, but when I saw that it was potentially Orlando versus Charlotte, I wanted Charlotte to match up against them because of the fight and just, their story. It'd be nice to see that, right? But I didn't think they had a chance against Detroit. I think they could have maybe potentially scared them, but it seemed like from the regular season matchups that Charlotte was always out toughed by them. And you had Diabate trying to look like he was tough, but no one was buying what he was selling. So ultimately, I know Orlando because for 2 years straight, they've been like battling with everybody from the Celtics to the Cavs to the Knicks. And every time you play them, you're like, man, I hope none of our players get injured because Suggs out there playing football. And then now you add Desmond Bain to it, pegging people with basketballs, and you have our guy Wendell Carter Jr. Trying to twist people's ankles and stuff in their landing zone, trying to be
Oh
the new
Lord,
Zaza,
mercy upon me.
trying to be the new Zaza Pachulia. So I just felt like whatever Detroit can come with, not only does Orlando have a big, but they have like three of them. They got Gogo Patazzi, looks like a goon from Scooby Doo, as they call him in New York. So if it weren't for those meddling kids, you know what I mean. So that's Gogo Patazzi. So they have all of that, and then they got Mo Wagner, who hasn't even started playing yet. He's ready to bring the smoke too. And then they got two bigs. I don't think Franz Wagner is 6'10", but he might as well be because I would already give him the edge over Tobias Harris. I haven't even mentioned Paulo, who 6'10", 250. Who's guarding Paulo. So then you look at Bain, who had a bad shooting game. He hit like 1 of 7 threes. And as I've been preaching all year, the Detroit team was better last year. They had Dennis Schroeder. They had Beasley as a shooter, and then they had the same guys they had now. Duncan Robinson,
Tim Hardaway Jr. too. They had THJ last year too.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Tim Hardaway Jr. as well. So, and who's up for Sixth Man of the Year, with the Denver Nuggets. So Tim Hardaway Jr. has been battle tested. He's not afraid of anybody. That's the team. I'm not saying the guys in Detroit haven't had a great season. I just felt like they're a great regular season team. Dennis Jenkins should be given all the flowers because he was a two-way player to start the year. So credit to him. Paul Reed, all these guys are tough-nosed guys, but Detroit is just as tough-nosed, but they have the talent to back it up. They have several layers of talent. Even the younger guys coming up are only going to get better with Anthony Black and people like that. So, and you got to give Jamal Mosley his flowers. So he might be equivalent to what happened to the Detroit Pistons coach that got fired after being coach of the year. What was his name again? It just slipped me.
Dwayne Casey.
Yeah, Dwayne Casey. That potentially may happen, or if they beat Detroit, I think they should give them a chance, and they should just figure it out. So that's my take on it. I still have Orlando winning because they're just too deep, and the Detroit Pistons kryptonite is someone that plays harder than they do.
Great point. Doc, you said Orlando in 6. Are you sticking with that?
No, I said. Can you look it up? Did I say 6 or 7?
I'm trying to look it up right now.
Look at the text message.
I
was.
Oh yeah.
You said. What did I say? 7 or 6?
I don't. For whatever reason, I don't have that series written down. Okay, I have many others written down.
I text right after Dwight. But yeah, if I said it on the show, go with the one from the show.
Got you.
So whatever it is,
okay.
6 or 7. 7 out of respect for Detroit, but I think it could go 6 after what I saw yesterday.
Dr. X, man. Dr. X. I texted him late last night kind of cryptically. I said, "You're a genius." He's probably like, "What the hell are you talking about, dude?" Because you were so freaking right about Detroit. Okay, you were so freaking right about Detroit. Brandon Armstrong, you next. ... Are you ready to say after one game that the Magic are going to do this and be an 8 to beat a 1?
Man, one thing I did, I like the aggressive Magic team, bro. Like Franz, he only had 8 points in the first, but 10 points in the fourth quarter. Jalen Suggs had 11 shot attempts in the first half. Like, and Paulo's playing bully ball, using that mid range to his advantage. Like I like in a very aggressive Magic team. they had Cade and Fitz. Cade, oh my goodness, he couldn't drop a rock in the water. Defensively, they were good. Cade had 1 assist going into the second half.
Right. That's
One
it.
assist.
Wow.
1 assist. So that just shows you how locked in and man, like you guys said, the playoffs is the time to come together. The Magic, they were up. They were like a toxic relationship throughout the season. They were up and down. One, they look good here. Next, they don't look good here. Somebody get injured, and now it seems as though they're coming together. There's only one game, but that one game was dominant. Every time Detroit to make a little run, it was the defense was on point. Man, I'm a K guy. I still got to rock with Detroit. But it ain't looking too good. It's looking. To be honest, bro, I didn't even have them playing the Magic in the first round. Remember, my take was terrible. I said Charlotte was gonna beat them because how bad they looked, in previous games and in the play-in game. And Paulo looked terrible, but they came together and they killed Charlotte. So it's looking very scary for Detroit. But like I said, it's only one game. This is not their first time in the playoffs. Let's see what adjustments they make. They need more from their role players. Simple as that. You're not gonna get 30 points from your 60 points from your 1-2 points in Jalen and Cade. So and another thing, Asur only played 9 minutes in the second half because they wanted to go with the more offensive lineup, which didn't work at all because they got their ass whooped on the defensive side. And and this is a defensive of the year candidate, if not the defensive player of the year. So we'll see what adjustments they make in game 2. And I think it'll be an interesting season. But if the Magic's play this aggressive and Franz was going at people's heads. This is the Franz that I drafted on my fantasy team last year and early this year. He put Cade down that block like, I don't care about your 6'6" frame. Like, stop playing with me. So, look, if they stay aggressive, we're going to see. It's going to be very interesting. Look at that dot! Come on. Franz was on a mission. It wasn't impossible. He was on a mission. Ray, it was not impossible.
I just want to add one more thing. The Pistons not having another shot creator, right? That's huge. And then the second thing that was glaring, he shot a great percentage, but he only shot 4 shots. Who am I talking about?
Jalen Durant.
Yeah, Mr. All-Star, Mr. Smoke for everybody. And a lot of it, if you let him shoot a mid-range shot and he misses, he's going to hesitate and pass it. And he's not a shot creator, and he's not going to take a mid-range, definitely not taking a 3. So where are all his shots down low? And they got the bodies to throw at him, make it hard. He only shot 4 times. He made 3 of the 4, which shows you that he shoots a good percentage. But why are you only taking 4 shots? But, I mean, truth be told, when I looked over the game again, the game was closer than the final score says. It was closer throughout, and then they kind of pulled away in the fourth quarter. So, every game is different in the playoffs. It's all about adjustments at this point. I just know that the kryptonite for Detroit Pistons, someone that plays tough, out-toughs them, and I think Orlando's up to the task.
A.M. Pfeffer, you are next, my friend. Are you ready to say right now, after one game? Because Dr. X was the only guy that picked somebody to beat Detroit pre-series, all right? So I want to know, this is a flip-flop litmus test. And I'm not mad at you if you flip-flop right now, okay? We just saw a major upset in game 1. Are you ready to say, A.M. Pfeffer, the Magic are going to do this and be an 8-1?
No, I can't have the diatribe I did about the Rockets-Lakers and then flip-flop on Detroit, Orlando. So I'm not ready to say that right yet. But Doc, I'm ready to say you're a genius. I would say it previous to game 1, and I'm going to say it now. Doesn't matter. There's an IQ test coming, so prepare. We're doing that after the show. What I really want to do with my time here is float a little Pandora's box of conspiracy. I'd rather do that. Is there something, and I know Dwight is going to lose it here, is there a little something to what the Magic were doing the last couple games? Like, guys, they won 7 in a row. They won 7 in a row, then lost to not the B team the C, possibly D team up in Boston, right? They then lost in Philadelphia and looked like they didn't even belong on the court. And then everybody's on Charlotte's bandwagon, and they were like, "Nah, guys, come on." This is Charlotte, by the way, when they were winning, were beating teams by 19, average of 19 points, and they made them look like literally like an AAU team. That is literally what that game looked like when they played them. And then they knew and they wanted to take on Detroit as opposed to Boston.
Yep.
Is it? I mean, that's a long way to go.
No, I literally woke up this morning and said that's
But I want to throw some cherry on top of this because there's this Jamal Mosley, right? There's this Jamal Mosley of it all. And it's like, hey, should we, this is where Dwight's going to lose it. Should we just throw out the story that there's turmoil in the locker room and we don't really like Jamal, and, right? And like, and Paolo wants out, and like, hey, let's just give everybody out there in the NBA world some flavor and we'll be the snake in the grass. Is there anything to that? I'm throwing it back to the panel.
No,
that's what it looks like right now.
I actually agree with that, AM. I just feel that it was a big risk to do that because you're in the play-in tournament and you could just lose. And Miami was lurking too. So you don't know which team you're going to get. And so that would have been a big risk to do that because I felt they should have been not a play-in team, but the 6th seed or the 5th or the 4th. So, but I do think they were positioning themselves to play Detroit Pistons, honestly.
Well, let me throw one more last thing on that to your point about potentially being 4th or 6th, because the reality is, and this is what Orlando knows about themselves, they've underachieved all year. They are a 3 seed masking as an 8th. What do I mean by that? They should have been a 3 seed from the start of this year. They know it. We know it. This panel knows it. The audience knows it. That's the talent level on this team. So it ended up happening where they are, 7, 8, whatever you want to call it. They shouldn't be where they are, but it just looks like they played the violin perfectly to get where they are right now. And what a win in game 1 on the road.
You waiting on me?
Dwight.
Yeah, Dwight, go ahead.
Dwight, go ahead.
So hold on. My theory isn't exactly that. However, because to my cousin's point, and to your point, Rick, you can't play with the basketball gods. You can't lose to the Sixers on purpose. And because you have a home game in Orlando on the Friday night against a very hot Charlotte team, you can't take that chance. What I will say is that the Magic had a very disjointed season. They weren't healthy for the entire season. But I did predict that Orlando would beat Charlotte because you never know when a team with all of that talent and size can just simply decide, you know what, screw what happened before this, let's just win, whether we like our coach Jamal Mosley or not. And it wouldn't surprise me if word comes out that the players had a players-only meeting and said, listen, you know what, screw Jamal, let's go out there, play to our capabilities, and see how far we can take this. Because if the Magic stay healthy and play the way they played against Charlotte on the Friday night, and then Detroit on Sunday night in game 1, you can't tell me that this team isn't good enough, tough enough, and talented enough to challenge any team in the Eastern Conference, and that includes the Knicks and the Celtics. I'm not even including the Cavaliers. The Magic, if they play their cards right, are defensively strong. They're tough. They're athletic. They're long. They can get in the passing lanes. They create deflections. They're dynamic in the open floor. They're not great three-point shooters, but their toughness, their grit, and their willingness to defend is as good as it gets in the Eastern Conference if they're all engaged. Right now, the tea leaves tend to be telling us that Jamal Mosley, no matter what happens, is going to be fired. So I think the players have made the decision. Let's play to our capabilities. Let's stay as healthy as we can. And let's try to make a run for this thing because ultimately changes are coming. But again, I equate this to the same issues Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum were having several years ago with Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero. If they can somehow come to a happy medium, those two players can exist. They're big, they're strong, they're both athletic, they've got offensive skill, Banchero can be a better defender. Franz Wagner is one of the better forward defenders that we have in the game. If the Magic stay on the course, stay connected, and just screw all the nonsense away from the court, they're as good as any team in the East. And I can see them pulling this off. I still have Detroit winning in 7, but my confidence is definitely wavering with that prediction. I like the way the Magic have played the last 2 games. Let's see if they can remain consistent. The Magic are good, ladies and gentlemen. Don't sleep on them.
All right, so I saw all I needed to see yesterday. All of the theories that we have talked about, mostly coming from Dr. X, played out in game 1. All of them. These Pistons might go down as the worst number 1 seed ever. I don't mean any disrespect by this, okay? In game 1, they lost wire to wire. They never led, not once. It's the first time in the play-by-play era that a 1 seed did not lead at any point in their playoff opener, okay? That's a really indicting statistic. Guys, let's talk math. Kate Cunningham had 39 points. 39 points. And they got housed by double digits at home. Come on.
27 times.
He had 39 points and played 40 minutes. He can't do more than that. I mean, he can, but you get the point. Jalen Durant, and this is one of my joints, he cannot be your second best player. He can't. He got outplayed times 5 by Wendell Carter Jr., who's the 5th best starter on Orlando. This is all math. This is all math, and it all ends up with an L for Detroit. Guys, Tobias Harris was the only other Piston in double figures in game 1. Let that sink in for a minute.
17.
There's a math problem here, okay? And by the way, I thought Tobias Harris sucked in game 1. I thought he sucked. He was 5 of 15. He made 1 of 7 on threes. Anything not like right by the basket or a free throw was Brick City, USA. Okay? By the way, they're about to go Harrison Barnes on Tobias Harris. Yeah, you're a vet. Yeah, all right, but you ain't starting here anymore. But that's how desperate they are. They have to start him, okay? More of the math problem, okay? The Pistons have one player you can count on for 20 points a night. 1. The Magic have 3. Series over, okay? Series over. You have 3 guys that can explode on any night. And I'm not even including Suggs. Okay, and Suggs has more explosive ability than Jalen Durant does. All right, Dr. X, that's why I said he's a genius. He perfectly diagnosed Detroit. He was the first to talk about they don't have that second guy to Cade because Durant can't be that guy in a playoff series. You've got to have another badass that can create shots for himself, like the dynamic in Phoenix. It's not a great example, but you got Booker and you got Jalen Green because Jalen Green can pop off for a 30-point game. Detroit doesn't have that guy. Okay, we're moving on here.
Hold on, Rick.
And
Hold on. If I could say something, hold on. You talk about Detroit being one of the worst number 1 seeds in history. Talk about the Dallas Mavericks against Golden State. Talk about Seattle against Denver. I think it could be if the Pistons go on to lose this series, they're in that category. They're in that conversation.
Yeah, there's no question about it, man.
I got one more thing, Rick, before we move on. I got a quick question for you. You still picking Bickerstaff over Mazzulla for Coach of the Year after that?
Yeah, I mean, so that's a don't get me started because this asshat hack named Bill Simmons admitted that he changed his 6th man of the year vote from Jaquez to Keldon Johnson because Jaquez sucked in the play-in tournament. Okay, you can't do that, idiot. It's a regular season award. Okay, just so yeah, that's a don't get me started right there. But AM, I love you. All right, we got to talk Knicks Hawks a little bit, but I want to make this one quick because we're getting deep into the show, and that I want to put a 60-second timer on this one. I got to get here. But what I'm talking about is the CJ McCollum pretty much going. Remember when Draymond Green split the uprights on Steven Adams? Remember that? He just went boom right to the nuts, right? And so that kind of happened in game one with CJ McCollum and Jalen Brunson. So guys, run the video here. So the video is going to show you CJ McCollum in the play, and this is what CJ said.
At a Broadway show. And, you know, he acted it out until they reviewed it, and it's a normal jump shot, nothing there. Unnecessary, and I look forward to getting my $2,500 back. I shot a jumper, and Jalen thought we were at a Broadway show.
Okay, thank you, Kai and Jason, for replaying that beginning again. Dr. X, of course, you're going first here. No clock on Dr. X. There's a clock on all of us here, but not on Dr. X. Dr. X, go ahead.
I love CJ. I think he just wanted to have a nice soundbite, something to say about Broadway, something to be cute, drop a bar. He's just happy to be there. He's happy to be in the playoffs again. He's happy to be out of NBA Siberia, and he's enjoying himself. He didn't believe it. Even when they reviewed it and they called it, and you looked at his facial expression, you could tell that he knew he deserved that, and you couldn't dispute it. The camera says it. Even if it's your natural shooting form, it was clearly a kick in the nuts, and usually that's it was pretty obvious. Now, did Jalen Brunson embellish it a little bit more? Yeah, but I mean, a kick in the nuts is a kick in the nuts, man. You gotta take at least 3 minutes. That stomach pain is gonna radiate right up to the stomach.
Yes,
you're gonna feel like a little kid that got punched in the stomach. They don't know how to tighten up your abs before you get hit.
That's exactly.
Yeah. So I think honestly, CJ's just embellishing the whole moment and try to have a nice, cool soundbite. But he knows what he did, and he's just happy to be in the playoffs. He's happy to be there. He doesn't believe what he's selling.
Okay, so CJ Tech is your call here, not a Brunson flop.
Yeah.
You say CJ Tech.
CJ Tech.
All right.
CJ Tech. 100%.
All right, Dwight Walton, you're next, and 60 seconds on this one for the rest of us here. Brunson flop or CJ Tech?
Oh, this is easy. No, again, once you get hit down there, you can't fake that. It hurts, and there's so many different theories as to how you get rid of it. You jump on the back of your feet, you squat, whatever the case is. Once you get hit down there, that ain't faking. And it was a hard kick to the nether regions. It wasn't no soft kick. So again, I agree with my cousin. CJ was just being funny, trying to have a cool moment at the podium. CJ technical foul all the way through. You can't fake getting kicked down there. It hurts. It hurts a lot. Happened to me a lot. It hurts. Trust.
AM Pfeffer, Brunson flop or CJ Tech?
Oh, CJ Tech all the way. I'm not putting on the level of what LaMelo did on Bam. I mean, he really pulled the rug out from underneath him. You saw how emphatic I was about it last week. But, you know, CJ did what he did, and it wasn't cool, and it probably should have been more than just the standard, you know, CJ Tech. I didn't like it. I don't like seeing it. There's certain things there's certain like beef stew type stuff that I like seeing. There's certain fights that make sense. There's certain tumbles that like I don't like this ticky tack stuff. I don't like what LaMelo did, and I don't really like what CJ did either. CJ Tech all the way.
Dot, you're next. Brunson flop or CJ Tech?
Oh my gosh, bro! Y'all acting like this is Draymond. Y'all acting like this is Draymond driving into the paint, leading with his leg kick. Y'all acting like this is D Wade driving to the paint, leading with his knee, bro. I kick dudes in the nuts every day when I hoop. Why? Because I shoot fadeaways. It's a natural shooter position. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't on purpose. He shot a fadeaway, and Jalen Nuts was there. It just happened to be there. I do it all the time. I do it all the time in men's leagues, and they don't exaggerate how Jalen do. Understandably, yes, getting kicked in the nuts is terrible, but we all know Jalen Brunson is a prime grade A flopper, and he exaggerates it to the T. Not saying that he did that with getting kicked in the nuts, but we know, like Doc said, Jalen gonna put an extra little sauce on it. And CJ knew he was in the wrong. He was just more mad at how once it was called, he said Jalen got back normal. Like, all right, let's go back and hoop. But it gave him some time for it to heal. But I don't think it was a purpose kick in the nuts at all. But yeah, Tech, of course. Tech, of course.
He'll think he'll think twice when he does that fadeaway now.
Yeah, you will. So look, guys. CJ McCollum is the gangster then I need Ant-Man to be. To me, I think CJ McCollum knew exactly what he was doing. To me, this is an FF. To me, this is an FF1. This is not a tech. This is an FF1. Flagrant foul 1 is unnecessary. A 2 is unnecessary and excessive. This was unnecessary. Because McCollum's one of the greatest shooters of the last generation in the NBA.
I agree.
All he does is shoot. I think he knows exactly where his legs are. These hoopers they're not ballerinas because that's the female gender. They're ballerinos, okay? Their body control is the best, okay? It's the best. Nobody has better body control than NBA players with like maybe wide receivers in the NFL, right? They got to do all the toe drag and the toe tapping and like get their legs coordinated in the air when they're catching. Like that's some pretty crazy body control too. This was not a flop by Brunson. When you get Draymond did in the nuts, this is what you do. You double over in pain. And then guess what? After 2 or 3 minutes, you're kind of like, yo, I feel pretty normal here again. It's just a weird thing how it goes from like a 10 to a 0 very, very quickly. This is definitely a CJ Tech. All right. Now, the next topic is here, guys. It's about to get spicy in here. Okay. I'm going to go first. It's about to get spicy in here. Cam likes his Kung Pao spicy. All right. Shout out to George Costanza, man. May he live forever. All right. And he will in syndication. We know that. Jason Alexander's family, 370 years from now, are going to be getting royalty checks from his work on Seinfeld. Anyway. All right. Was Ant-Man a part-time killer or injured in game 1? I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. Was Ant-Man a part-time killer or injured in game 1? Here's the setup. Anthony Edwards, according to John Krasinski, badass beat reporter on the Wolves. Anthony Edwards was clearly limited and laboring in game 1 due to his lingering right knee injury. Anthony Edwards says it's going to take him about a week to get his win back after returning from his knee injury. I mean, grab the fiddle. Give me your win back. The playoffs, bro. Come on. All right. Anthony Edwards in game 1 basically sucked. He was 7 of 19, 2 of 9 on threes, and played 38 minutes. And get this, guys. Get this. Anthony Edwards is questionable for tonight's game 2 with right knee injury management. Okay? I'm pissed about all of this. And now I'm going first. And I don't want to clock on this, okay? I got to get some stuff off my chest. This is more of the same part-time killer bullcrap from Ant-Man. He played 38 minutes. I don't want to hear it. He just didn't play well. Yet again in a playoff game. The inconsistency rears its ugly head again and again and again and again and again and again. It's a broken record. Suck it up. Play your ass off until your limbs fall off.
Come on,
period.
Rick.
Don't talk to me about your knee. Talk to me about being more aggressive and more locked in for the next game. If Ant-Man does not play in game 2, if Ant-Man does not play tonight in game 2, I may put my Ant-Man jersey up on eBay for resale. I might even make the decision to call attorneys and wire them some money and re-divorce from my Timberwolves. We're at a crossroads here, people, okay? I'm not happy. And if that happens, I'm going to quickly whisk off to Las Vegas and get one of these like just right now marriages to the San Antonio Spurs and just completely turn coat. It's all happening right now in real time. I'm pissed. I am tired of waiting for Ant-Man to get serious, to get pissed, to get nasty, to get that chip, to get that edge. He doesn't have it, guys. He says he has it, but then he doesn't show it to us. I wish Ant-Man was more like my guy, Jaylen Brown. If Ant-Man was made up like Jaylen Brown, but had all of that Ant-Man like Michael Jordan, Kobe gifts, he would have already taken over the league. But Ant-Man isn't where Jaylen Brown is. You know why? You know what Jaylen Brown's nickname is in Boston, guys? They call him Old Man. It's like the greatest nickname in the NBA. They call him Old Man. Why? Because he's wise and because he's serious. And he's like your grandpa that never ever laughs, right? But he always tells you exactly what you need to hear. That's Jaylen Brown. Ant-Man has none of that in his DNA. He's too cool. He's too aloof. He's too laid back. And it's turning me off. The guy at the end of the game, Denver scores the dagger. They go back to the Minnesota bench. And there's video. The guys may run it for you. Ant-Man, guys are coming over, and Ant-Man's like, we good, man, we good. No, you're not. You just got housed by Denver. You're questionable for game 2. You half-ass most of these playoff games. No, Ant-Man, it's not good, bro. It's not good. Somebody needs to hold this young man accountable, okay? And let it be me. And I love Ant-Man. This all comes from a place of love because I don't know this as a ball player. I know this as a historian and a guy who's covered the NBA professionally for 30 years. I know what it looks like when you're on the trajectory to a championship. And I know what it looks like when you're not. And what I'm seeing right now from Ant-Man, he is nowhere near a championship trajectory. And you can talk to me about 2 trips to the Western Conference, blah, 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 blah. Did he win it? He did not. He did not make the finals, nor did he win the finals, okay? You are not getting moral victory credit here. It's like some people want to like give LeBron more credit. Well, damn, he lost like 8 finals. I'm not giving him extra credit for losing NBA finals. Was he there? Yes. Is it impressive? Yes. Is it a Hall of Fame or GOAT metric? Hell no. Okay. What did you do? Not what did you lose? What did you do? I don't think the ring is the most important thing to Ant-Man. I don't. I think partying is. I think living his life is. And just this whole Ant-Man thing. And God bless him. Young fella, got the whole world at his feet. Good for him, man. But the ring isn't the thing for him. And that bothers me. If you are dying to get that ring, then I don't rock with you. Okay? So I'm going to go to Dr. X here. Dr. X, was Ant-Man a part-time killer or injured in game 1?
Wow.
Oh, man. Well, first off, we all know those who play ball and those who watch it religiously. If you're the star of the team, you shouldn't lead with, I was hurt, I may not play next game. Out of all the things you could have said, let us know what you're going to do better for next game. Let us know how you guys are going to be closer to winning next game, what you can do differently, what you did wrong. We don't need to hear anything about your knee. I mean, at least take a page out of LeBron's book last year. When after the series is over, you would hear through the grapevine, through something that he's dealing with some knee problem. You would hear something later. You get what I'm saying, and not from his mouth. Kobe Bryant did the same thing, but he wouldn't leak anything later. It would just be is what it is. You just come back stronger. As long as you can walk, you're playing. We don't need to hear the excuses. It just looks weak. And so that's my only thing about Ant-Man. Yeah, at least the one thing I could say about him is I'm happy that he took the amount of shots that he took, because I hate when he shoots under 10 shots or 12 shots, 13 shots. Although he shot a bad percentage, at least he was aggressive. At least he took the shots. I just don't want to hear the excuses. That's where I'm at with him.
So part-time killer or injured? What or are you just saying no answer here?
Well, you know what? The shades, I can't really see the questions too well, but I would say part-time killer until he stops having excuses. Part-time killers, a true killer doesn't give excuses. You just do, and you do your best, and just live with wherever it falls.
Okay, so B-Dot and Dwight Walton are hating everything they've heard so far. Doc, you go. Where should we go first? Should we go to Dot or should we go to Dwight first? What do you think here?
I say go to AM Pfeffer.
Oh, okay, all right. A curveball right there. A.M. Pfeffer. Was Ant-Man a part-time killer or injured in Game 1?
Well, let me put it like this, guys. A few months ago, I asked Kai and Jason to look into reaching out to Stevie Wonder's people, part-time lovers, so we can get our own song on this show of ours, Part-Time Killer, right? I'd like to know where we're at, guys, with the publishing, because we absolutely need it now. It would be perfectly apropos for what Ant-Man delivered in Game 1. Part-time killer to the nth. And I want to hear Stevie Wonder's track behind it. Come on, guys. Where we at? Get it back or what?
Stevie Wonder, part-time lover, fellas.
That's what I'm saying. And a little Luther for you on the background there. 1985. Little Vandross. Let's go. We need that song on this show. Specifically for Ant-Man.
Dwight next.
Hold on.
Specifically for Ant-Man.
I'm gonna respond here. Listen. There's nothing part-time about Ant-Man. Even the NBA agrees. He's one of the 3 finalists in the clutch moments of the NBA. There's nothing part-time. Rick, you're speaking out of both sides of your mouth. Kevin Durant didn't play in Game 1. At least Anthony Edwards played in Game 1.
Thank you.
Tried,
if you can walk, you can play.
Out there. Then my cousin's talking about he took 19 shots. He's trying his best. If Anthony Edwards,
I said that was good. I gave him credit for that. I
got you, cuz I got that. I understand. He
at
least he was out there trying to be a force for his team. If he can play in Game 2, he will play in Game 2. All I know is Steph Curry missed 27 games with the exact same injury that Anthony Edwards is dealing with right now. And had Saturday night been a regular season game, Anthony Edwards wouldn't have played. Anthony Edwards on a bum knee cannot be even remotely close to the player that we think he can be if he's not healthy. But at least he's out there trying to be a leader for his team. All this part-time killer nonsense, miss me with all of that. This guy is trying his best. It doesn't matter if he doesn't make shots, if he doesn't look aggressive. He is trying to evolve as a basketball player. I understand that we want to see all of our players play aggressive, do this, that, and the third. If there's one person that we should never question about his lack of aggression, is Anthony Edwards. Come on now. Y'all give me a break. He's out there trying to play hard. He's playing through all types of injuries.
But Dwight, he literally has games where he's not aggressive. Game 1 wasn't necessarily one of them, but he literally does have games where you're like, where's Ant-Man tonight? That's where this comes from. That we're not making this up.
Rick, I want to back you up here. The ring is not the thing. You said it best. That's the answer.
At least
right?
not yet.
If you're talking about
At least not yet.
Full-time killer, the ring is the thing. With Ant-Man, it's not.
So okay. So y'all are gonna sit here and seriously tell me Anthony Edwards does not want to win an NBA championship?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's not the main thing. What I'm saying is it's not the main thing. Yes, he wants to win a championship, but it's not the main thing.
To be a part-time killer is still a killer. He's still a killer. Nobody's taking that away from him. He's just not full-time. And full-time killer is the thing.
His mentality is a part-time killer. So that's just who he is. So that's exactly what
Yeah.
I'm glad. Okay.
I need him to shoot 27 shots. Shoot 27 shots like Kate Cunningham.
That's what I'm
talking about. If you're going to shoot a bad percentage, shoot 27 shots.
B-Dot, set us straight, man. Where you at, B-Dot?
B-Dot, no timer, dude. You got 5 minutes.
Bro, first of all, y'all some haters. Second of all, that's the reason why Minnesota ain't won ish in forever, because y'all are ungrateful as hell. What you talking about Ant-Man? What are you going by in Minnesota basketball history? Huh? Kevin Garnett, Stephon Marbury. Let's be real. Ant-Man is the best player y'all done had in the last 30 years. Two, this part-time killer guy with a hurt knee led his team in scoring still. And isn't basketball a team game? Let's talk about Julius Randle. Let's talk about DiVincenzo. Let's talk about Rudy Gobert. Okay, y'all want to talk about he's not focused on winning a championship. Look what's around him. Look what is around him. Okay, look, Ant-Man is not guarding Jokic. He didn't foul Murray 16 times for him to go to the free throw line for 16 attempts. Hold on, Leah. Hold on, because Daddy pissed right now. Murray was 7 for 20. Murray was 7 for 22. He was 7 for 22. And this is why a point guard. This is why. Hold on, Lydia. Here you go. This is why a point guard is very important in a shooting guard's life. Okay, a legitimate point guard, because guess what? When Ant-Man is off ball and has somebody else controlling it, he's able to come off screen and create. The ball is in his hands, bro. All the attention is on him. That's why y'all roof fell through y'all football stadium, Rick. That's why y'all roof fell through, because y'all ungrateful. Y'all are killing me, bro. He's a part-time killer, bro. It is a team game. He's the only person. He compared to Jaylen Brown, he's never had a Jason Tatum. He's never had a Joe Mazzulla. He's never had a Ime Udoka. Derek White's better than any point guard, any guard on that team. Peyton Pritchard's better than any guard on that team. This is a team game. Stop calling this man a part-time killer, okay? When you're going out in Iraq and you're shooting people, you got somebody on your left, you got somebody on your right helping you. Ant-Man is doing it all by himself. He's shooting blind. He is set it off with Queen Latifah coming out the car talking about shoot me. Like, stop it. Stop this. This is a team game. And for him to still lead his team in scoring on an injured knee and everybody else is injured. Let's talk about Julius Randle, man. Y'all got it, bro. Y'all got it.
Hold on, fellas.
You put a Rock and Queen Latifah in the same sentence. That was amazing.
Hold on. What have I been saying? What have I been saying since the inception of this podcast? I've been saying Anthony Edwards needs a sidekick, another shot creator. Somebody else that can take the pressure off of him. That game on Saturday, game 1, was still a game with Anthony Edwards on one leg. Give Edwards somebody else, we're having a different conversation. Because right now, this summer, I forget the GM's name. Tim Connolly, I believe, is his name.
Yes.
He needs to go out and acquire a player that will help Anthony Edwards for these very situations. Help him out. If he's injured, at least he can depend on somebody else that will contribute in terms of scoring. You can't depend on Julius Randle. You can't depend on Jaden McDaniels. You definitely can't depend on a Rudy Gobert. DiVincenzo, yes, I think he might be the most consistent scorer.
You
know what Chris French should try? Put Terrence Shannon Jr. into a game and see what happens.
He hates Terrence Shannon Jr. He hates him.
I know that.
Yeah, he hates him. I think they should be playing him too. He didn't play Dillingham. Chris Finch is about to get whacked because of that, by the way.
Okay. So he
listen to the game. Listen to the guys y'all naming that he should have played. Listen to y'all naming. He wasn't even started with the Bulls. Rob Dillingham, he should. Terrence Shannon, come on, like these are the guys you guys are naming and telling me Ant-Man is a part-time killer. Come on now, look who his supporting squad is. Look who his Avengers are. This is DC. This is not Marvel. And it's comics DC. Come on, stop doing that, bro. Stop.
Is this how you feel about? Is this how you feel about Detroit then? You think he's in the same predicament as Cade Cunningham?
Cade still got time to prove himself. Ant-Man done killed some of the legends. He got rid of Kevin Durant. He got rid of Kevin Durant. He got rid of LeBron. Y'all acting like Ant-Man ain't knock legends off, bro. Y'all got short-term memory, bro, and it kills me.
So if he can knock legends off,
and at this age, he's the only person at this age besides Larry Bird and Michael Jordan who's accomplished and gotten as far as he has. Give him, bro. Y'all acting like this man is 27.
I agree with you. I agree with you with that. So you're actually saying he's injured. That's the reason why you're saying he's injured.
I'm not saying he's injured at all. I'm not saying he's injured at all. I'm saying get off his nuts and acting like he's the only person on the team that has to do something, bro. Like y'all kill me, bro. When Karl-Anthony Towns is trash, y'all call him out. Oh, Karl ain't do nothing. Oh, OG ain't do nothing with it. Was Jalen Brunson. It was all Jalen Brunson. It was all Jalen Brunson. But his supporting squad. But Ant-Man, y'all don't say nothing about DiVincenzo, trash ass. Y'all don't say nothing about Julius Randle, soft ass. Y'all don't say nothing about Rob Dillingham. Y'all don't say nothing about 45-year-old. He got a 45-year-old point guard in Mike Conley. And Rudy Gobert is barbecue chicken every goddamn night. So stop it, bro. I'm sorry, lady.
I'll get on. Yeah, I totally agree that Julius Randle disappears in playoff series, except when they play the Lakers, because he matches up well with them. How did Julius Randle do yesterday, Rick? In your
trash,
estimation?
7 for 16, and all his points and most majority points came in the last 4 minutes when it really didn't damn matter. He didn't do nothing that damn game. He didn't do nothing.
He had a Tobias Harris type game.
Yes. And Candace Parker and all of them that was commentating the game was saying the same thing. Ant-Man needs help. We love when Ant-Man is playing off the ball. Why? Because when he has the ball, all the attention is on him. And now they can double team, do whatever. He needs a point guard for someone to come off that corner, and he can actually construct the play for himself. But y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all don't want to hear that.
No, I'm listening to all of that. I'm listening to all of that. No, we're B-Dot. You and I are talking about two different things here. You're contextualizing to the team concept and the fact that Ant-Man's not set up to win, and I don't disagree with any of that. I'm talking about intangibles. I'm talking about getting mad, getting serious, getting pissed off, getting traumatized by losses, which helps you go to the lab, come back on a mission, and be an absolute superhero. Ant-Man hasn't figured that out yet. That's why he's a part-time killer for me. So I'm not contextualizing.
How hasn't he figured out when he
concept.
knocked off NBA legends? How hasn't he figured it out? And when he got to the Western Conference Final, they just got met by a better team, and that's what it all comes down to at the end of the day. He did what he put his cape on when he put his cape on when he needed to.
Runs. I'm not saying Ant-Man sucks. He's a top 10
couple of nice
player
runs
in the game.
in the last 3 years.
That was when he was full time. All right, so B-Dot.
That was when he's y'all was calling him part-time man. Y'all was calling him part-time man.
Here's the filter.
Batman don't win every battle. Batman don't win every battle.
I agree. But here's the filter. Batman will go down swinging, and that's my biggest issue with Ant-Man. So yesterday, that's why I gave him his flowers, because at least he shot enough shots. But there have been games when Ant-Man has lost. He took like 12 shots. He had like 2 points at halftime. He maybe shot 9 shots and only took 2 shots or 1 shot in the fourth quarter. So that's the filter. So I mean, in the past, he's been a part-time killer. In this series, I'll give him credit for at least playing hard on a bad knee. I'll keep it there. I'll wait till this series is over to actually say if he's a part-time killer or not. But yeah, if he has one of those games where he shoots like 5 times, 8 times, 9 times, and then starts smiling at the media, I don't want to see that. That's part-time killer vibes.
So, cuz,
he's done that. And he's done that more than he's done that more than one time in those same runs where he knocked off legends. So he was full-time. He knocked off the legend. The next series when he got knocked out, he took games off. And guess what he was doing when they lost them first 2 games against them legends? Guess what he was doing? Laughing like he was tired.
We're gonna be right
back.
I'm telling you what his reaction was. His reaction was, it's cool. We'll get him next game. I'm not tripping. We'll get him next game.
No, he was catching his breath.
And what did he do? What did he do? Knock off them legends. Stop trying to act like he was all serious when he knocked off the legends. He was still the same laughy, jokey Ant-Man. And mind you, Ant-Man don't drink and he doesn't party. Ant-Man don't drink and he don't party. So let's take that conception.
He eventually gets eliminated.
He was laughing and doing all that.
When he gets eliminated.
He was laughing and smiling doing the same runs. Ant-Man ain't never been no serious guy.
I'm looking at the stat sheet. I look at the stat sheet. I don't care what he says. You can laugh all you want. If you're actually gonna kill on the court, then I don't mind what you say in the media. I don't care how much you smile. But if you only have like limited shot attempts and then you're smiling, that's a problem with me. So back it up in the court.
It can be a problem with you. It can be a problem with you. It can be a problem with you, Doc, because you've never been in that situation before.
I don't care.
You've never been in a situation where it's easy for it. Let me talk. You've never been in that situation before when a team can easily lock in on you. Lock in on you. Why am I about to take 12 shots in the first half when I know my team gonna need me in the fourth quarter? Because I'm the only person they got.
Bother K. Cunningham.
Shut up with this narrative, bro. Y'all pissing me off with this
27,
shit, bro. Chill with that narrative, bro.
27 shot attempts.
Chill with that
27
narrative.
sacks.
This is what I
Full-time killer.
And Rick,
39
hold on,
points.
Dwight. Let me get one more off before. And Rick, you like to go to that whole get off. I don't want to hear that Western Conference final stuff. Western Conference. Jalen Brunson has only been to the Eastern Conference Finals. Let's say
he's
the
a
same
full-time
part-time
killer.
killer-ish.
He already won clutch player of the year. He earned it.
So
and
what?
earned it. Now it's 60 games.
Now
it's 60 games.
He hasn't
earned
equated
it.
past the
He
Eastern
earned it.
Conference
He
Finals.
earned it.
That's
All right, so
that's
then
y'all
keep that
go-to
same
with
smoke.
Ant-Man.
Keep that same
That's what
smoke
y'all
to your
go with
boy
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man. Keep that same smoke with Ant-Man.
So here's
Well,
my
That's not the
game.
point. The point
He
is keeping the
he's
same
in-
smoke
he's in
for
the
Jalen.
stratosphere
Y'all
of
don't
Jordan.
keep no smoke for Jalen.
Stratosphere of
Y'all don't
Jordan.
keep no smoke
That's
for Jalen.
stratosphere. That's the
He don't
stratosphere
get compared to Jordan.
Your
He
boy-
get compared to
your
Jordan
boy-
because
your
of
boy
his
is
movements
grounded.
and how he
Your
walks,
boy
bro.
is grounded.
Like,
Your boy is grounded.
bro.
High school
And Jalen
vibes.
Brunson proud of
Rucker-
this shit too because
Rucker
Jalen
Park
ain't done nothing.
vibes. Sorry.
Jalen
Sorry.
ain't done
He's not
nothing.
the same level. Not the same
Jalen
level.
ain't done nothing.
Not the same
Jalen
level.
ain't done
Same to
nothing.
Rucker.
Jalen ain't done nothing.
Keep it smiling.
Jalen
Keep it
Jalen's
smiling.
close to the record that Ant-Man is.
He gets
let
Cracker
Jalen
Jack-
go to the
Cracker
record.
Jack box
Jalen
prizes.
ain't done nothing. So
That's
like
all
I
he
said,
got.
Rick,
That's all
keep
he
the
got.
same
Nothing.
energy for Jalen Brunson, who
I have
hasn't
the same
equipped
energy.
Eastern
I have
Conference
the same
Finals.
energy.
And been
Yeah.
in the league.
He
been in the league way
takes
longer
24
than
shots.
Ant-Man.
He takes 24
And then
shots.
been in the league way
wins
longer than
games
Ant-Man.
in the clutch.
So Rick, keep
Takes
that same
24
energy for
shots and
Jalen,
wins.
who's been in the league
knows
way
when to turn
longer
it
than
up.
Ant-Man. And ain't
He knows when
man,
to
I ain't
turn it
trying to
up,
hear
and
that,
he's
bro.
not smiling.
I
He's not
ain't
smiling
trying to hear
and
that.
chilling with everybody.
He's
Yeah,
and
you are
guess
hearing
what?
it.
Guess what?
Turn me
Guess
up.
what? Guess
Turn
what?
me up. You are
Jalen
hearing it. You are hearing it.
Jalen had a whole serious face his whole career and still ain't made it past the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yes, and he
got
did
his
it in New
ass
York.
knocked out by
He
Trae
did it
Young.
in New York, and he did it in New York. If you
And
from there, you
Ant-Man
know
So
got
can
to
what
the
I'm
Western
talking
Conference
about.
Final in the
Yeah,
West.
yeah,
East,
media, the real
West,
media,
and East.
the real media.
Mediocre.
That's right. He did it in New York.
You care
Yeah,
about what about
the
media, bro? We're
pressure-
talking about playing.
He gets
We're
better.
talking
He
about
gets better
playing.
with the pressure. He gets
Ain't
better
no
with the
pressure in the
pressure.
East. You keep talking
And
about
he's gonna have the
how.
help. He had
They ain't been
Julius
to the
Randle.
finals yet.
He had Julius
They ain't been
Randle.
to the finals
He
yet.
had Julius Randle.
They haven't been to
And
the
he
finals
still brought
yet.
it. Yeah.
And they still haven't
he
been
had,
to the finals
and he had
yet.
Dante. And now he
And
has
he still hasn't
Carlton
been to the finals
Towns.
yet.
Yeah.
And he still hasn't been to the finals
All right.
yet.
Exactly.
All right.
He still hasn't been to the
Exactly.
finals yet.
Exactly.
And been in the league longer than
Exactly.
So hold
Ant-Man.
on, fellas.
Been in the league
Exactly.
way longer than Ant-Man.
Fellas,
Exactly.
fellas.
You're
You can't
not
bring
saying
up
that because you got your
examples.
glasses on.
You
Just
can't
because you
bring
got your
up
glasses on
examples.
doesn't mean nothing.
Fellas,
You're not saying that
fellas.
Pure
You can't bring
exactly
up
has
examples.
no
Hold on,
point.
hold
You
on,
can't
hold
bring
on.
up
Exactly has no
examples. You
pressure
can't
to
bring
it.
up
Fellas.
examples. You
Hold on,
can't bring up
fellas.
examples and
Is
not
it
bring up
Bro,
the
you're
proper
not.
examples.
You don't. Bro,
Jalen
you might be
Brunson
the
is the
smartest man in
perfect
the room
example of
with
what-
the dumbest basketball IQ. You might be the smartest man in the room with the dumbest basketball
That's okay.
IQ.
That's fine.
The
You're
example
entitled to your
was
opinion.
Jalen
You are
Brunson
entitled to your
hasn't
opinion.
taken them
My
out of the
point
Eastern
is,
Conference yet.
my point is
Been in the league
that
longer than
Jalen
Ant-Man
Brunson,
and in a weaker conference.
Jalen Brunson, if you allow me to speak, it's my last thing I'll say. Jalen Brunson is a perfect
Please,
example of
please.
what we want Ant-Man to be. And that's why Rick Kamala, when he's playing the drums, doesn't wear Antman's jersey, but actually
Jalen
wears
Brunson's a
Jalen
loser too. If
Brunson's
that's the case,
jerseys.
Jalen Brunson's a loser
Exactly.
So here,
There you go.
so cuz, can I ask this question?
And that's what Ant-Man does. And that's what Ant-Man does. And that's why he's your hero. That's why he's hero. When the heat gets turned up, B dot runs away.
Can
B
I
dot runs
ask a
away.
question?
And
Let me ask a
and
question.
Jalen Brunson, you can wait till I get this out. Jalen Brunson is here standing still. Okay, that's what happens. We don't run in the face of pressure. You could turn this mic off. Thank you.
So can I ask a question? Is it possible that when Ant-Man takes 10, 12, 14 shots, is it possible that the scheme defensively against him is forcing him to give the ball up? Could that be a part of the equation?
You got to find a way to get over that, though. You can't let the defense dictate to you how it's going to be. If you're a player of his caliber, you've got to dictate the terms of engagement. Last thing I want to say on this, Jalen Brunson has made it to 2 conference finals. Remember that year with Dallas when Luka was hurt, and Brunson got them off to a great start. They went all the way to the West Finals that year. So Brunson's been to the conference finals twice, one in each conference, 2 different teams, and led essentially 2 different teams to the conference finals. Just saying. So in that regard, he and Brunson are neck and neck in terms of how far they advanced. But like, and so let's just move on here, guys. I think we've said what we need to say. Let me put a little dovetail on this. Anthony Edwards is expected to play tonight against the Denver Nuggets, despite the knee injury management. So
Absolutely.
get your popcorn. I'm quite
Just
sure
built-in
Ant-Man didn't hear
excuses.
what we talked about today, but maybe through the universe he got wind
Those are
of the spicy
Those are called-
Excuses, but he crying for Giannis.
those are called
Excuses,
built-in.
but he
Those
crying
are
for
called.
Giannis.
Those are called built-in
Excuses, but he crying for Giannis.
He should just
Get
kept
him
that
outta
to
here.
himself. Let's just play the series, man. Just play.
Get
It's a
outta here.
I
series,
think-
man. That's his word. It's a series, man. Just play the series.
Guys, can I break a little news here for a second? There is some breaking news today that is actually pretty exciting. Did you see what Draymond Green said on his podcast? This is legit. This is real stuff. Rick, you're going to like this. He's talking about Kerr. I mean, he came out and said this. He said, I hope he's our coach next season. You want my opinion? I think not. Just because it feels like that. I felt like that was it. That's not
So,
nothing.
hold on.
When
So,
the star
okay, so
player still
AM
playing NBA basketball comes out and says that. Yeah, go ahead.
So my retort to that is, if you saw Steve Kerr's last press conference, he was leading in that direction. He would always leave it open-ended, but the way Kerr was speaking, it's almost as if, remember now, no contract has been offered to Steve Kerr. Nothing, right? You'd always hear some rumblings about they're in discussions, they're close to a deal or not close to a deal. I think there's a possibility that Steve Kerr doesn't coach the Warriors
Who
next year.
cares?
Now,
Who cares? Who cares? They're gone.
now,
No one cares.
now
Bye.
that
Moving on.
that being said, I think as long as Curry is on the Warriors, Steve Kerr will coach the Warriors.
Who cares?
Yeah, but the point I was making, it was just interesting that Draymond Green, an active player in the
God.
NBA with his coach, is still
Eliminated.
you saying this is not a story. We're not too excited about the
he's
breaking news?
eliminated. We can talk about him July 1st. We're good.
Okay.
So can I make Steve Kerr my rant, Doc, or is that in play? So yeah, because it's rant time here, guys. So it was quite the historic scene with Kerr at the and Draymond and Steph at the end of that Suns game last Friday. Obviously a loss, and when it was happening, and I almost turned the game off because it was the result was known for quite a while. But I'm like, nah, let me just see how this ends. Let me and I like looking at like the DAP after the game and all that kind of stuff. And then I saw that Kerr, Draymond, and Steph moment. I'm like, this is why I kept the TV on right here. And I just got this vibe like, that's it. This is it. It's over. Like, that's what that scene just told me. Kerr said after the game, I don't know what's going to happen next, but not after the game. Like, this is what he told them in that hall. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I love you guys. Kerr, after the game, said, I'm definitely not coaching somewhere else next year. I would never walk away from Steph, but all this stuff has to be aligned and right. Anthony Slater summarized Kerr's presser, said he's going to take a week or two off, talk with Lacob and Dunleavy, acknowledge there's an expiration date on all of these jobs, and it's possible new blood is needed, said he may return or not, doesn't know yet. All of this reeks of he gone, okay? Steph Curry said, I want coach to be happy. I want him to be excited about the job. I want him to believe he's the right guy for the job. I'm just going to stop right there. All of that and the rest of it says he ain't coming back. Draymond Green on Steve Kerr. This was at the podium after the game. Are you worried, reporter? Are you worried that this is it for Steve Kerr coaching you guys? Draymond said, yeah. I think it would be pretty crazy to think that's not a possibility. And then, AM, you have what you just said from Draymond. By the way, the plot thickened with a report earlier today that I saw. Mike Dunleavy Jr. signed a long-term contract extension with the Golden State Warriors as their general manager. Quietly, the report said, while Steve Kerr remains now out of a contract. Here's what's going on here, guys. I don't care what's being spun, what's being opined, what's being reported. Nobody has tracked the Steve Kerr buzzkill more intensely than your boy Cam, okay? People are making it sound like it's Kerr's decision to come back or leave. I completely disagree with this. Steve Kerr lost a power struggle with Mike Dunleavy Jr. That's what's happening here. That's why Dunleavy has future money and Kerr does not. Joe Lacob doesn't want to run it back with Steve Kerr. Otherwise, Kerr would already have been extended. The decision's been made. The goose is cooked. The body's in the coffin. Okay? What is being determined now is the exit strategy, the optics, press releases, press conferences, etc. Is Steve Kerr getting fired by the Warriors? Yes, that's the reality here. Joe Lacob is tired of Steve Kerr not doing his job. Okay? His job is to win and develop at the same time. Steve Kerr's never done that. And Joe Lacob's over it. Okay? And it's time for new in Golden State. Kerr is guilty of being smug and arrogant and insubordinate. Okay? He's been a bad employee for 3 years. You could go back longer, but he was winning and it masked him being a bad employee. Okay? He's been in the play-in tournament for 3 straight years, guys. It's time to pull the plug. Okay? Now, the next move for Joe Lacob, and this is another Rick Kamla joint from back in the day on Sirius XM NBA Radio, and Antonio Daniels, Dwight Walton, you may remember, was all hot and bothered when I came to the air with the Warriors need to trade Steph Curry. And so Steph does not go out like Kobe Bryant did at the end of his career with the Lakers when he was a roller coaster at the amusement park. That's all Kobe was the last 3 or 4 years. And God bless Kobe. I love him to death, but that's what he was. He was a box office guy. He got him on TV, but they never won anything. He was an attraction at the amusement park, just like Steph Curry. It is time for Steph to go to another team. I don't know where. I don't know how. Joe Lacob needs to bottom out, completely flush his team, and start over. That's what needs to happen here. Draymond Green, I have no idea. Does anybody want him at 27, 28 million? Most likely not. You're probably stuck with him to be the OG for all the young guys, but that's all I got to say on that. And let's get it over to Dr. X for his rant, and we will go around the room then. Dr. X, what you got?
Nothing much, really. It's the same old, same old. I think it was nice seeing the upsets. My last rant last week was that the 76ers versus Boston Celtics would be a potential upset. But the whole thing with Joel Embiid, I think this will be the rant, is I'm not sure how true it is, but I know when you have a laparoscopic appendectomy, I think we should be getting, way more information as to what type of surgery Joel Embiid had, how he's doing. Is he even in the court? Is he even getting shots up? Dwight, did you say that you text the group chat said he's done for the season? Was that a joke?
I saw.
Is
The
it
reason why I said
is that
season
legit?
is because they're not going to beat the Celtics. But the report came out yesterday is that he is not playing in the first round. That's the report I
Yeah.
saw.
Okay, got it. Yeah, so I think he's in his feelings at least. And I mean, I know he doesn't owe us anything, but he kind of does. At least the Philadelphia fans. I mean, they were the ones that were screaming, "Bring on Boston," and they don't have a chance to beat Boston without Joel Embiid. I felt they had a chance to at least steal a home game, which they still can do. But after seeing what I saw first game, I don't know if they can steal a home game knowing that their savior Joel Embiid isn't even coming back. And apparently that might have led to some issues in the locker room. And because when your best player is not going to be there to play with you, and is not even motivating the troops by saying, "Hey, I'm trying to make a comeback," he just said, "I'm not available." That puts him more at like 4 to 5, 6 weeks after appendectomy. And I know for certain I mean, unless I see the actual surgical report, that it wasn't an open surgery versus a laparoscopic surgery, which he could come back in 1 2 weeks. And there's actually other players who have come back from that same injury that we know of in the NBA during the regular season very quickly. So I'm very concerned about 76ers at this point. They're the new Clippers, or they've been the new Clippers, and I can't really pick them in good faith anymore, just because the head of their snake, which is Joel Embiid, always seems to be missing in action. And so, all that said, the next to my upset, this will be a slightly longer rant, but um, Orlando is built to beat Detroit. And I do agree with you, AM. I believe they were playing possum. Maybe not the whole time, but I think as it started to unfold, I think Orlando Magic threw that game with the Celtics C squad. And then I also think that they lost to the 76ers the way they did. It was like they got bludgeoned.
And I felt they could have won that game if they were playing the way they are now. So I feel like they positioned themselves knowing that, hey, let's let the Knicks and the Celtics fight it out. All we got to do, we know from the regular season we can actually beat this Detroit team. Let's play them, and then we could probably punk the Cleveland Cavaliers. Rick, to your point about how soft the Cleveland Cavaliers are, I think they could possibly beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in a 7-game series as well. So they have positioned themselves to literally go to the Eastern Conference Finals, and it's interesting to see what happens to Jamal Mosley, what happens to him, and whether or not he'll be, coming on. But apparently, based off Paulo's vibe, he made him do an ultimatum. This is me or Jamal Mosley. So big up to Orlando Magic for successfully playing Possum, and I'm looking forward to seeing a couple more of these series. And lastly, my Knicks. Let's see which team shows up today. We will see if they are actually that playoff team versus a regular season team. Some teams are just not good regular season teams, but credit has to go to Mike Brown. They had a better record than Tom Thibodeau had from his first season out the gate. He even I like the chemistry I'm seeing build up between Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. It looked like it took way too long, in my opinion, for pros with a point guard. Supposedly, he should have had this chemistry from Thibodeau days. That should have been worked on. And for it to happen like the last month of this season is way overdue. But I'm happy to see it, and I want to see if it's consistent. I want to see, because I know the Hawks technically have nothing to lose at this point, and they're still a dangerous team. So we can't sleep on them. They got to take game 2. They got to win all the home games, and win it. And if you think you're that much better, please sweep them. That's all I got to say.
Doc, I just want to follow up real quickly. I saw how it went viral how Knicks fans were partying outside of MSG after winning Game 1. Were you down there with all those maniacs or what? Were you a part of that?
I was still in LA.
Oh, okay.
So I watched the game in LA. But yeah, if you want to go for the party, go on 7th Ave. If you want to go home, go on 8th Ave. So we'll see. I have some peoples over there. So the Knicks fan pages and the fan base is great. It's a great community. So it's always good to link up with everybody after the game and before the game.
CP the franchise will be with us on Thursday, Doc. I know you're excited about that. We
Okay,
all are.
that's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CP the franchise will be
God.
on the show on Thursday. Probably
Let's
to
go.
the eye roll of B-Dot, but I'm excited to have him on. I'm just kidding, B-Dot. I'm just kidding, Dot. All right, AM Pfeffer, what's your rant, man?
Not that by saying it means anything, because so many people have said it before and we've mentioned it on the show, but obviously the NBA is a league of stars. And when you think about these first games of the first play, over the weekend, not every game was great, but the stars showed out. And this is why I love the league. I don't have a rant in any negative light here. This is, again, the opening games of round 1. And to me, it was exciting as could possibly be, because when I think about most of the games, especially with the teams that won, those stars showed out. Wemby did what he was supposed to do. Jokic and Murray were amazing. I mean, if you stick on the West side, LeBron, again, looking, spry and young and as incredible as it was. You go to the East, I mean, the aforementioned Cleveland Cavaliers, like Mitchell showed up, Harden showed up. Tatum, forget it. We already talked about how great it was. And even like the Magic, as we've mentioned, when you talk about the stars, like Cade did what he could do. The rest of his team did not, certainly, but like the 3-headed monster was there. Maybe Bane didn't have his best game, but it wasn't bad. He played well defensively, but like Paolo definitely showed up. Franz showed up. I was excited. I love back to back because I'm loving this league, because I do love watching the stars. And when the stars shine, it is so awesome. It really is. So I'm excited for what Game 1 was. I'm certainly excited to see where the rest of these playoffs go. But the next 6 to 8 weeks, like, man, if you're a fan of these league, you're a fan of the stars, it just doesn't get any better than this. It was incredible. I hope it continues.
I love it. Some positivity around here. Dwight Walton, you are next, and B-Dot, as always, is going to bring us home, man.
I want to keep the positivity going. I want to salute this weekend Victor Wembanyama and LeBron James. The San Antonio Spurs have done a fantastic job of mentoring their young stars. And this goes back to when Greg Popovich and R.C. Buford for running the franchise. It has just continued on. And to listen to Victor Wembanyama in his post-game press conference yesterday, talking about how safe he feels in the organization when you've got legends like David Robinson and Tim Duncan, who look like proud parents in the stands watching their young son perform at the highest level yesterday in game one against the Portland Trailblazers. He put on an all-time Spurs performance in his debut by scoring 35 points, didn't rebound the basketball at an elite rate, but his impact on the game on both ends of the floor was extremely evident, and to why he's my most valuable player this season. The way he's embraced not only the pressure for himself, but he's taken the pressure for the league. The way he approached the All-Star game, the way he approached his MVP campaign, the way he's approached his want to winning an NBA championship this season. He wants to buck the trend of where teams have to have their heart broken first before they win. Victor Wembanyama is saying, screw all of that. Get on my back. I'm going to lead you guys to a string of championships. Now, we don't know if that's going to happen, but as far as I'm concerned, the torch will be passed from LeBron James to Victor Wembanyama as being the face of the NBA. The league is in a great place because of this young man. He wants all the smoke. He learned English as a young child because he was preparing himself to being the face of the NBA. He is a global star already. He's going to be a global icon. All we have to hope and pray for, God willing, this young man stays healthy for the next 15 years so we can all sit back and enjoy the ride of what I think is going to be a transcendent player for the next generation. He's that good to me. He has become my favorite player in the NBA, next to LeBron James, and I want to salute him for his opportunity. I spoke about it earlier, to play on the same basketball floor, not in a preseason game, not in a regular season game, but in a playoff game with his son. His son has worked himself all the way back from close to death with a heart situation. He came out early, was besieged with vitriol and criticism towards him. Why is he in the NBA? He's not an NBA player. He has worked himself all the way to the point of having trust from JJ Redick to put him in a game, a playoff game, albeit for 4 minutes. He had trust in him to put him into a playoff game to where JJ Redick understands that he needed to win game one to give his team confidence against a team that is favored to beat them in the first round. For a parent to have the opportunity to be on the grandest stage at the pinnacle of their sports, to perform on the same stage, I can only imagine how LeBron James feels. He said it himself. It's the craziest thing to ever happen in his life in terms of his basketball career. All the accolades in the world. His proudest moment is sharing the floor with his son in a playoff game. So I'm here to salute Victor Wembanyama, who's the future of the NBA, and LeBron James, who is definitely on the back nine, not ready to retire, but got the opportunity of a lifetime to share the floor with his son in an NBA playoff game.
And with that, we bring in the great Brandon Armstrong, a.k.a. B-Dot, for the Close the Show rant. B-Dot, the floor is yours.
Yeah. I guess I keep it positive too, because I had a lot of stuff to say, and I don't even want to say it. So I'm just gonna say something, man. I just want to say this real quick. Shout out to Sesame Street and Reading Rainbow, because they really raised a generation the right way. Like we didn't realize back then, but they was teaching us everything: how to read, how to treat people, how to think, all through songs and stories. Now look at us as adults. You know, we still remember that stuff: patience, empathy, imagination. That didn't just come from social media, okay? That came from sitting in front of the TV as kids and like, just hold on, this actually makes sense. And now the kids got iPads, skipping ads, skipping lessons, and we had to sit there and learn. And man, tell me I'm wrong, because that wasn't TV, that was training. Okay, and they also say that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same result. The Knicks and Doc been doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, and it ain't changed. So if that's insanity, then that's insanity. And I guess Giannis is the psychiatrist that's gonna heal them, and that's all I got to say.
I knew he was trying his best.
I was trying, Doc. I was trying.
I was like, Sesame Street. Where are you going with this?
He's right though about Sesame Street, man.
No, he's
Look
not.
how
He
fast they
is.
got this
But
up.
my
Look at the
parents,
image these
my parents
Jason
raised
Cat
me.
pulled up so
It wasn't
fast.
no daggone TV.
Hey man, hey, single mom, man, single mom. Hey, that says Sesame
It's
Street,
all
man,
good.
Sesame Street and Seinfeld.
Nah, it was a part of it.
Sesame
It was a
Street.
part of it. It was a part of it.
And that's my
So-
rant, man, because I wanted to keep it on a positive, happy note.
All right,
Mhm.
Doc, you the man. Doc, you the man. Doc, are you leaving for Madison Square Garden as soon as we sign off? Are you out and going to the game?
No. The game starts at 8 p.m. EST.
Oh, that's
I
right.
could
That's
try to
right.
get there for 7:30. It's still bright and beautiful in NYC right now. I'm gonna get caught up on some work, and then I'm gonna head over.
I'm curious. Are you getting a little hot? You got the hoodie. You got
No,
the.
I'm chilling. I got the AC.
Okay.
It's,
Okay,
not,
I-
it's actually 40. It's actually 50 or 40, 45 degrees in New York right now, man. It was cold today.
Okay.
It was like the
Okay.
wind was hitting us. It was cold out there.
Hey, tell my boy Brundog to wear a nut cup tonight, okay? And he'll be better off with the CJ McCollum thing.
Oh, he can bait him all night. He can bait him. That'll be a wrap.
I love it, man. All right, we are out, ladies and gentlemen. Mwah! We love you. We love playoff basketball. We'll be back on Thursday. We've got CP the Franchise from Knicks Fan TV joining us at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Big thanks to Andrew Feinstein for joining the show here. Check out Denver Stiffs for B-Dot, for AFFer, for Dr. X. Good luck to your Knicks and go Knicks.
Insufferable.
For Dwight Walton.
Dr. X.
Dr. X. And for Jason Arambulo and Kai Josephson, behind the glass, doing a great job as always. I am Rick Kamla. We appreciate you all. We will see you Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Bye, Dot. Bye. See ya.